live so that you can actually see what is going on. I don't know how many people are going to see this or join. I had some technical problems even starting this live stream, but there is Marty. There is so many YouTubers, Instagrammers. Marty from X. Let's see if I can get any. Like, I'm not sure if it's working or not. I think the live stream is working, guys. Let me show you. Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. Let me show you what is going on here. I'm going to try to make it short. They're not allowing you to record on the inside, but I want to show you what is actually happening over here. Check this out. Look at these flags. Look at this. This is beautiful. Look at this one. I'm interviewing a bunch of people here today, guys. There is not as big of a crowd as you would expect because they have like 100 canvassers on the inside, and they're not allowing you to record on the inside. I'm going to show you on the outside. We are outside of a Big Four. That's a big event that I was promising to you. And I can finally, hey, I see the comments. Finally. Thank you so much for joining in. Let me show you what we have so far and who we have here. We actually have Marty as well from X. He's interviewing people right now. I know I didn't announce that I'm going to be going live right now with you guys. I know, Marty, are you okay to be on the camera?
Yeah.
I'm just doing like a short live stream.
Hang on. Okay, yeah, short live stream.
Short live stream. Hey, Marty.
Yes, sir.
What brings you here today?
Same as everybody else. I want to witness it for myself. I mean, this is maybe not a historic event, but there's a lot of people. The event tonight, I mean, this is the signature part, but tonight there's a town hall. It's technically a town hall, and I think there's going to be 4,000 or 5,000 people, and I want to be part of it.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. I'm going to be here too by that time. I have to go soon pick up my kids from childcare.
Yeah.
And then once they're home, I'm going to come back again.
Awesome.
And leave them with my wife. No, Marty, it's amazing to see you.
Cheers, everyone.
Guys, if you're not here, come here today to sign the petition. I made a video yesterday inviting all of you guys. There's right now we have 14 people watching. I didn't announce this live stream, but I'm sure there will be more people.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Marty. Nice to see you. Marty, yeah, I want to show you Oh Canada flag. I don't know if you've seen on my channel. I have published saying Oh Canada. Where is that guy? I'm trying to catch him. He's going so fast. Let me show you something. Let me see if I can switch it. I want to show you Oh Canada. Check this out. Check this out. Hey, what's up, guys? Nice to see your comments. Oh, this is amazing. This is, this guy with that flag, Oh Canada, is exactly my post that I published a few days back. I got a lot of hate for that. This is awesome. There's so many people on the inside. It's just that I'm not allowed to go and record on the inside. We can try to ask somebody on the outside. I already interviewed a bunch of people. What's up, Marty and Igor? That's awesome. I see you guys' comments. Let me switch the camera and I'll see if I can interview someone.
Let's go!
Oh, goodness. There's people coming up here with kids and everything. Just so that you can see how many. Look, let me just show you how many cars are parked over here, too. Look, there's a lot of supporters. I don't know if I can zoom in over there. Can I zoom in? Oh, I can zoom in. So there's also people over there with flags. Lots of Alberta patriots here today. Hey, I'm finally doing a live stream. Do you want to say anything to there's so far 26 people watching.
Rise Alberta.
Exactly.
Make us free.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you for being here.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss it. It's time we did something, right? We all got to stand up. I look what happened in Europe. Everybody's starting to stand up over there. It's time to stand up here.
Are you going to be there by 7 p.m. today?
Oh, yeah. I won't miss it. I won't miss the speeches. We already have. I got to leave for about an hour or two to go back to work for a bit. But then I'm coming back.
Exactly.
I just took a break from work to come down, make sure I signed and got in.
No, same thing here. That's what I did. Have to soon go to pick up the kids from the childcare, and I'll be back here by 7 to I'm sure there will be more interesting things to talk to other people. It's going to be amazing. It's Igor Reltsev, but if you just write IGOR, Igor, and then you just write Canada, somehow my name comes out. I don't know why. Thank you.
Give you a follow. Is that on Instagram?
It's on YouTube. On YouTube.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. I'll give you a subscription.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you very much.
People are saying they're loving "Oh China the flag." There in the comments, I'm just reading there. They're like it.
Well, hopefully we get what we want. Hopefully
Exactly.
we get what we
Exactly.
want.
I'm sure
Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight?
we will, guys.
The Fringe is going to be live at 7 Calgary time, so we'll go live then. Well, I'll just stay live until then, but that's, I think, when there's a bunch of speakers, so hopefully we'll get a good view of that. That's what I'm hoping for. But in the meantime, we'll just kind of poke around here, but feel free to say hello. Feel free to call into the show if you'd like. And I hope everyone's having a great night.
Let's see if you can interview anyone. I don't know if the sound is good or not. I don't know what the connection is on how the feed is going to look like on the live stream. You're going to see there's a there's already. I'm just going to show you why I cannot go on the inside. You see they have that sign over there saying no video or photography on the inside. It's not part of their because they want to. It's not because they are. It's because of how elections Canada work. I just want to tell all of you guys, if you're not
That makes sense, though.
from Alberta and watching this right now, it's basically it's a legal process what's going on here. It's not like people who are trying to break Canadian legislation or anything. There's actually more and more people coming in. The parking lot is filling up pretty fast, and it's absolutely a legal process. Let me see if I can interview somebody coming out, because I think people are more likely to. If you have any questions, guys, write them in the comments right now. I'm going to see if I can interview somebody coming out, because people go through that door to sign it, and then they usually come out from this side. I think they kicked out Marty. Marty was on the inside. They don't want us to be warm. Hey, just want to check with you if you want to do a short interview or anything.
For whom? For you?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel.
All right, and for you?
Igor. And I'm supporting the movement, essentially.
All right.
And I have right now 28 people watching it. They can see right now.
Окей, Игорь, интервью так интервью.
Интервью так
Есть
интервью. Конечно, конечно. Where are you from?
I'm local, I'm from Kazakhstan.
From Kazakhstan. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
originally from Ukraine, but I speak Russian too. Тоже говорю по-русски. But most people they don't speak Russian, so it's in English.
Sure, yeah. English I can do.
What brings you here?
Well, I'm here to sign the petition for independence, like everybody else.
Are you a canvasser or
Yes, I am.
you are? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What do you think? Are we going to get the necessary amount of signatures?
I'm sure we will. Nobody knows the future, but looking at the people here, I'm sure we will.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. No, it's good to see somebody who speaks my own language. It's очень приятно вас встретить.
Likewise, likewise.
Спасибо. Guys, there are people who see, as you can see, I'm not the.
Okay, let's
I'm
go.
not the only,
Fringe is live
immigrant,
right now.
how other people
I'm gonna
portray
switch over to
who's trying
him.
to support this movement.
So Fringe at the moment is live.
Kids, the whole thing, right?
All right, folks, we're going to have to stick with this method. Apparently, I had to lay things out differently. All right, folks, we're going to have to stick with this method. Apparently, I had to lay things out differently for the stream. We're going to have to just do it like this. There's no way around it. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm sorry it's in this format, folks, and not widescreen. We didn't want any hiccups with the streaming software. I hope you guys are able to hear me okay. If you can hear me okay, let me know, because the mics, again, we've connected the wireless mics for the first time. Hope everybody's doing well. All right, I'll get my hand out of the way here. Here, put it in here, and then just hold it. All right.
We want pictures.
Pictures.
Yes.
Goodness. Here, are you able to figure that out?
We know the door. We know where
Hold
they
that.
are.
Absolutely. How are you? Hold it up. I'm gonna put the. Let's get a photo in with you guys. Do you mind if I
So this is Unacceptable Fringe live right now at the Big 4 building in Calgary.
I'll speak in the middle
There's going to be speakers and stuff.
here.
There we go. Perfect. All right, guys.
Thank you very much.
I listen to you every day.
I appreciate it. Mike,
There's a meetup.
can I give you my mic and then I'll just do what I'm doing?
Do what you're gonna do.
I'll hold the camera.
His brother or something? That guy looks like Fringe.
So the magnet goes on the back here.
Because I have one, and you have one, and there's one on the phone.
Put it on the inside of your. You'll need a thicker. Yeah. And then this on the other end.
Okay. All right, guys. Mike here, Freedom Honey. We're just here at the event. We're gonna make our way to the front. What are we doing?
Yeah, we gotta go to the front.
All right, guys. Jason, say hi.
First.
Hey, how you doing? Let's go. You and I will get in on one. We'll do one.
Okay. Everybody, the famous Jason Levine.
My purse is getting in the bloody way.
Oh,
Me
goodness.
too.
Come on, get in.
All right,
Let's go.
we're gonna go towards the front.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. Right on. Thanks, Tom.
Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. It was, we had an issue with the stream. So if you guys are in the YouTube world, let people know on the other stream if it's still going on to get out and come to this one, because this is where the show is going to be. So far, I mean, I've been here for a couple hours. Just the most amazing people.
Okay, we'll come back to this for sure, but I think the show's kind of hasn't started yet. We'll take a look at some other videos here for fun. So this is from Berta Proud Dad. Canada's Fate, Saskatchewan Secession, and Media Lies Exposed. Let's take a look.
It's done. And then you look at the other side and you go, okay, well, and I'm going to put Saskatchewan in it because I think it's safe to assume that if Alberta does this, Saskatchewan.
I want
fall.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Adam.
Yeah.
I love Saskatchewan. Beautiful people in Saskatchewan.
All the best people are from there, Lawrence.
I know you're from there.
Yeah.
I know you're from there, but I love Saskatchewan. So maybe I said a little wrong, but now I got to come out with I love Saskatchewan shirt.
Sure. You got it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you say, okay, well, now where's Canada going? I mean, you saw the thing with the economic watchdog that they fired, right?
Yeah.
That should have been on the front page of every newspaper in this country.
And
that should have been, it was nowhere. You could barely find it on YouTube.
But you know who you could find it from was every single content creator out there that was on the conservative side because it needed to be done.
Right. So basically what this guy said is, we are on the precipice of what is essentially a national bankruptcy. It was essentially what he said. And they said, well, what do we do to stop it? And he's like, well, you have to cut this, and this, and you got to do this. And you got to, like, he sort of gave his plan, of which the Liberals are doing none of it. And then they fired him for it. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
he's gone. He was fired the next day.
I remember that. That was, I think, a few months ago, I believe.
Hey, and this guy is like experienced up the wazoo. He's a CFA. Like, this guy is like, he's very, very.
He knows what he's doing. And
he knows.
Like, fast forward to right now, Chrystia Freeland.
Right.
Our ex-finance minister.
Yeah.
The lady that told us to cancel our Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, save some money in your home. Cancel your Disney Plus. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That was incredible.
And then, okay, so she's now going off to Ukraine to be their financial advisor. How many billions of dollars have we sent? We just sent $2.5 billion to Ukraine after Mark Carney came out 2 weeks prior to that and said Canadians are going to have to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
Like, if you are on the left right now, there is serious problems with you.
Yeah.
You're either a basement suite dweller, which, don't get me wrong, times are tough for people,
Yeah.
but you're not working.
Nope.
There's no way you're paying taxes at the rate that I'm paying taxes. If you're paying taxes, there's no way, because nobody can be okay with that. And then she goes off to Ukraine, right? And then she's like, oh, and then we start calling out that a mainstream news, not
Yep.
calling it out, but content creators call it out.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, she's still a sitting member of parliament. I don't, it's legal. I looked it up, but it's definitely not ethical.
Yeah.
And then what happens? She's going to resign tomorrow or
Yeah.
Friday. She's going to resign. And what is she doing? What is the real play there? We sent billions over there. Ukraine is full of corruption. Now, Chrystia Freeland, involved in all of that and involved in scandal with Justin Trudeau, is now looking after the money in Ukraine.
Yeah.
That make sense.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay,
Punisher.
you want to blow your mind?
I see
I'll
you.
send it
The
to you.
chats
Okay.
aren't coming in.
So they're, you know who Oliver Stone is?
Yeah.
Okay, so Oliver.
Sorry, the chats aren't coming in right now. Good from if you're still here, from the YouTube to this StreamYard. But and then Kevin, someone says "F you traders." Kevin Stevenson, if you want to hop into the chat, if you want to hop in, you can debate me at any time. If you want to actually put your money where your mouth is, unless you just want to be a little coward and not do that. But tell the people why they're traitors. Hop into the chat. But yeah, it's not. Sometimes it does this on. I don't know what to say. I don't know what if this is Streamer, if I need to get like a refund for this, because sometimes the chats don't really populate in the software here for me from the YouTube, which is annoying. Like yeah, anyway.
Stone made a documentary called Ukraine on Fire. Okay. So there were these conflicts in 2013 in Ukraine. Netflix put a show out called Winter on Fire, which told the story from a very different angle. There's the Oliver Stone documentary that shows all the corruption, all the craziness in Ukraine, the role of the Nazi party in Ukraine, which is like a real thing. They were the second most popular party in the.
Okay, I'm just gonna. This might mess up the stream, but I'm gonna just click refresh. I don't know. This might. We'll see what happens. Maybe I won't. Dang it! Where the heck? I hate when it does this. Whatever. I'm gonna try it anyway. We'll see what happens here. If anyone could tell me in the chat, like, did the stream cut off? Are you still all here, or did it just go kind of to a different screen for a second? But whatever I did there, that did work. You're back. Okay, so it's all good. I know that this Chrystia, like, it's incredible how many, how bad Freeland and Trudeau were. But yeah, Kevin, call into the show, bro. Are you just going to be a typical leftist that has no clue why you're even saying that? You're back. Thank you, bro.
At the time, like actual Nazis. This documentary will absolutely blow your mind. Well, guess what was taken down everywhere from the internet? The first day of the Ukraine war, they took it because it shows what's actually happening.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not gonna go into all the details right now, but it's probably the most eye-opening documentary I've ever seen in my life. And so there's.
Okay, we'll take a look now at back to the rally in Calgary.
We had so many canvassers.
We'll see what's happening here. I think they're in a basement. Oh, it looks like the reception is pretty good.
More people are pouring in. This is good.
Yeah, this looks pretty busy.
Well, like I said, it's still.
Fuck, I'm jealous, man.
Fucking 30 minutes now, 40, 35 minutes till the event goes live. So these are all the early adopters who wanted good seats. Yeah.
Smart. Yeah, that's true. This is still 35 minutes before the scheduled start to this event.
I mean, smart.
30, like, you know what I mean? It's like a hockey game. People are already there.
3 hours ago was because we went to Burger. I think we get to sit in one of these to be press. I think so. Derek's just got to find the girl who's calling him over and over again because he can't answer his phone. How's the chat looking? I don't know. Can't really see it.
Look at all those people. Wow. This event, like, it looks like this event's probably trending to be totally sold out, standing room only. I mean, we'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself on that, but we'll see.
I don't think know. Open your phone.
Yeah, it's like 177K. And I mean, there's no way they're not already at that. I mean, maybe technically they're not, but they're definitely going to get, like, there's no way. But we'll see where that number gets run up to.
That's true. I can read on my phone.
Hello, James. Thank you for chatting. How are you doing today?
We'll get angry messages from Tiffany. You guys need to be more funny. You need to support my husband.
Oh, okay.
No, I told him to get.
Hang on. Subscriptions.
That is very cool. I'm gonna go to this. I'm just gonna make myself a cup of coffee. It's kind of late, but YOLO.
Kazakhstan is one of the.
This is also a guy that's at the Freedom or at the event. This is a little bit earlier in the day. He's just outside interviewing people. I'll take a look at this, then I'll be right back.
That was in the Soviet Union. So I just met another guy who's from Romania as well.
850K signs. Good, bro. I think it'll be over $1 million. That's my guess. Be a nice round number.
Well, just not too long ago, before I started shooting this video, this live stream, and he said that he's here because he doesn't want, because he was born like me in communism, and we know what it.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, man, because Alberta right now looks like the only province that seems to care about Canada's economic just general situation. Like, I'd say these people are finally, someone is taking a stand finally against the craziness. We've all just been lulled into sleep for 10, 15 years. So just accept the mediocrity all over the place.
It is. So he's here because he doesn't want Canada to turn into communist China, essentially. So that's what's going on now. Let's see if we can interview some more people. And I'm not going to be making this live stream too long, as it's getting a little bit cold. I want to actually interview more people on a video to make it shorter.
Thank you very much.
You should have seen the pile when I came to volunteer another. Yeah, there was a lot of people. I know I was a little bit late. And then I was on the inside talking to the commissar people and really interesting people on the inside myself. I didn't record anything, but let's see if we can get some more people coming out from that door. Let's see if we can interview someone, and I want to see your questions. Let me show you. There's more people coming in. I'm sure people are still working. Just so you know, it's Monday. It's Monday, and people are at work. People are not yet even done with this, and you'll see a lot of young families, a lot of young people. Hello. Woohoo! That's awesome. I'm actually doing a live stream right now. It's awesome. Exactly. There's about 39 people watching it right now. I'm sure there will be more in the evening.
Wonderful.
Are you okay if I ask you what brings you here?
Yes, Alberta needs to be free.
Oh.
From Ottawa. They've handcuffed us long enough. We've asked, we've pleaded, we've tried to negotiate. They're keeping our resources in the ground. They're depressing the entire country. We as Canada could work together, but because of the Liberal government and all of their policies and their bills, they're not willing to work with us.
Exactly.
So Alberta's had enough.
Yes, I agree with you.
We're not angry. We're not upset. We're just done.
Yeah, I think it's
we can't afford anything either.
Yeah.
The homeless people, it's outrageous. You know, people are really struggling, and the government doesn't see that. They
Exactly.
don't acknowledge that.
That's Jeff Rath over there.
Let's go work our way to. Oh, there's Derek.
Where? I can't see him. He's just, oh, there he is.
Derek is handling official business over
I
here.
wonder if the most Albertan man in the world is there. Has anyone seen those skits? Whatever, those videos?
We're gonna walk around.
Yeah.
There's Mr. Rath.
Yeah, Ontario is sheeple central.
We're streaming.
I lived in Toronto for 2020, 2021, and man, it's crazy. The downtown of Toronto feels like an airport layover. Nobody talks to each other. It's like very creepy.
So we're streaming. I need a minute.
Okay, we're gonna go. Let's go for another lap.
Derek's too official for us
Yeah,
now.
a little bit. Yeah,
We have to go. We have to go chill over here.
Can we have a picture with you guys?
You sure can.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can take. I'll hold the stream. You can take a picture with both of
I
us.
should be in the middle, and she's gonna take the photo. Okay. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys.
so much.
You're Matt.
I am.
I knew you were Matt. I was number Minority or the minority fringe?
At this point, we're going to be the fringe majority in no time.
We're working on it.
I know.
Thank you so much. See back here. There's a whole nother section. It's starting to fill up. We still got half an hour to show.
Yeah, it's a big room. There's a lot more. Wow.
There's a whole merch thing set up over there. We can take a look at that later, maybe. But yeah, we're looking at a good crowd so far. We're getting there. There's still a lot of people in the basement who are signing too, and I'm sure they'll be up here after.
Plus 200 canvassers.
Yeah, plus the 200 canvassers that are down there taking the signatures. They've been busy all day since 11 this morning taking all the signatures.
Yeah, guys, the lineup's just crazy. And so very well organized. Very impressed.
There you go. This is a good spot to sneak over here. And then we can just kind of chill and catch the whole thing. Once again, sorry about it being vertical, and sorry that I can't really read the chat because the thing that's holding the camera is blocking the chat window.
All right, let me pull up the chat here. Let me pull
Mike's turn. You can answer some questions.
I'll get angry.
Yeah, there's a community tab on YouTube. I don't know if I can open it up yet on my channel. I haven't looked into that, but I also might start a Discord channel, but I don't know if everyone really uses Discord. But there's also like a community tab on YouTube where people can just talk to each other, but I haven't looked into that. I set it up on my other YouTube channel for people just to kind of talk to each other, but.
How you doing?
Hot sauce Richard.
Ah, Matt. How you doing?
that's not fun.
Is it frozen? Oh, it was just while I was loading.
Okay. Oh, okay. The super chat from Dutchie. Starting to fill up, steady flow, free and independent Albertans. Yeah, thanks, Dutchie. Really, really appreciate it, man.
Oh, you have a
crazy
access.
Yeah,
I don't.
Okay. From Suna.
Yeah, I have Discord too. I barely, I don't even have it downloaded. I don't think on this computer. I barely ever use it. I find Discord kind of weird, but it's also awesome. But like, I feel like there's kind of weirdos on Discord. Obviously, like only 10% of them or something, but in those chat rooms on Discord.
Soul Silver, $5 super chat. That's Suna? Suna, yeah. Hey, I was the one that saw you had technical difficulties earlier.
Cool, James, cool.
Glad you all went to Calgary. I hope this helps the stream. Thank you very much, Soul Silver. Appreciate it.
I love the still. It's great.
Yeah, the still will live on. Okay, thanks again for. I mean, so many people have come by so far and asked for honey. I'm like, guys, I really, really appreciate it. We're all sold out.
Not hauling 30 jars of honey around at an event.
At this point, I mean, I should have set up as a vendor. I would have made a killing for the vets. Yeah, we're going live. Thanks, man. Hey, let's do some interviews. There, let's try to.
Mike is conducting an interview. You're good to go.
So, we're good. So, what's your thoughts, man? Let me see if I can.
Well, to be honest, I just want to see what's going on, then get some information, right? You know, get from all sides and all that stuff. And
absolutely.
Well, maybe we'll watch this.
Of like, I don't understand why people are freaking out over a question. That's my thing. So
yeah, and I look at it the same way. That
I mean, if you don't want it, just say no. I don't see why people are so up in arms about it. That's my personal thing.
I agree. I think this is one of those things where even if you were against this and you never wanted to see this happen again, or if you wanted to quash the movement, I mean, sign the referendum petition, because at the end of the day, it either goes or it won't. Let the people decide. Right now, with all the attacks that are happening online and them trying to shut down events and get stuff canceled, I mean, the vitriol is next level, and it's quite surprising.
You know what? Hear things like vitriol and bigot, I just like kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie.
Fair enough. But thank you so much for coming here and sharing your information.
Joshua.
Mike. I think I lost the magnet. I'm gonna get fired.
It's okay.
All right, there you go. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Anyway, hopefully the stream goes well.
Absolutely.
Anyway, take care of yourself.
Thanks, man.
Sure.
So guys, Derek's just over talking with the organizer. I'm sure he's going to find out where we're going to post up to record the actual
let's look
event.
at some more comments.
And all right, we'll go through some comments here.
Master of Stats.
You guys want to look at
give
the
it a
crowd,
simple proof
or
for
you want to
like,
look
yeah.
at me and Mike?
No,
Okay, some new videos. I'll probably make some YouTube videos tonight for sure on some of these videos, because there's definitely some new mainstream news videos on the movement here. This video, City News, Albertans line up in Calgary adding their signature to push for future referendum.
Tastes like freedom.
Attempting to gather 177,000 valid signatures before May 2nd, the stage is set Monday at Calgary's Big Four building to force the Alberta government to provide a referendum opportunity for Alberta voters.
I feel pretty good.
Why?
I use my voice, willing to stand for what I stand for, and it feels really good.
Most of my paycheck either goes to rent or bills, and hardly.
Yeah, I'll probably make a YouTube video with this video and then this one as well. Maybe I'll just squash those two together, because my YouTube channel is at 515 or something subscribers, and my goal, and obviously in the short term, is to get to 1,000, because then in 1,000 you can turn on monetization and like get paid for with YouTube ads and stuff.
Or food anymore.
And you think a referendum vote?
The apartment I'm in right now has I've never been in an apartment like this with such thin walls. Like, I don't even know, this is so ridiculous. I've lived in a lot of apartments, but there's like these kids behind me having like a cry off fit. And it's very annoying, but whatever.
For Albertans will actually change things.
It will, because most of the taxes will actually stay in Alberta instead of being equalized to Quebec or Ontario, and the government to quit spending it on themselves mostly now.
That sentiment ringing true for 3 in 10 Albertans.
Yeah, this initial support, but you'll see, I don't know if they'll talk about it here. It sounds like if they even says here, if they stress test these sentiments, like this sounds like if we brainwash them, if we sit there and we try to convince them against it, like that's so dumb. What if you sat there and stress tested it in the other direction for the people that said we want to stay? If you there's no stress testing of them. Well, what do you mean you want to stay? Why would you stay in a country with a flat economy, ballooning debt, massive problems, can't control immigration? Like, this is so stupid. How is that? Like, if you're a polling agency, that shouldn't be your job. Look at this, which stress tested. That's so clown world. I'll bring that up, I guess, in the YouTube video I'll make, because that is so fucking stupid. 28%. I mean, I just don't see it at that right now. I bet you if they checked again, maybe 38, because there's all this attention, and I bet you a lot of people in Alberta just were barely even aware that this was a thing. And now that when they are going to be aware of it, if you give them a month or two to kind of mull it over in their mind, and if they know there's a big movement, I think that number is going to go up.
A recent Ipsos poll who supports separating from Canada. The proposed question: do you agree that the province of Alberta?
What? Oh, like for the noise? Egg cartons? What do you mean by that?
Alberta should cease to be a part of Canada to become an independent state. Driven by StayFreeAlberta.com, this opportunity to sign off is only...
No, I haven't, but it's the same crap, man. My entire life, these announcements. We're doing another announcement. Things are going to get better because of our announcement.
blocks away from 17th Avenue. So we asked residents their reaction about this signing event happening so close to their home.
I moved to Canada 25 years ago, and I've always lived being Canadian, and living in Canada has given me opportunities, it's given me a life. So it's kind of heartbreaking for me personally to say that we don't want to be a part of this country.
Even to have that
Nobody cares.
Conversation.
To have that conversation.
Some saying this can't be ignored, even as country singer
No one cares, lady.
I moved to Canada 25 years ago, And I've always loved being Canadian, and living in Canada has given me opportunities. It's given me a life. So it's kind of
This is
hard.
not an argument. No one gives a shit about your personal feelings. Make an argument. It's kind of heartbreaking.
Breaking for me personally to say that we don't want to be a part of this country.
Even to have that conversation.
To have that conversation.
Some say
no one cares, lady.
This can't be ignored, even as country singer Paul Brandt posting a picture on X that reads, "I've got independence in my veins."
I think people have a right to exercise their opinions. It's a demonstration of democracy, and they have the opportunity to make their voice heard. I think it's a reflection that.
Okay, yeah. I've seen those. I probably should. Yeah, okay. Acoustic foam panels. That's a good idea. I think it can look good on the backdrop too. I've seen some of those advertised.
There are people who feel disenfranchised, be it by the federal government, be it by our friends to the south, and maybe all this is coming together at the right time for them.
It's better now. It's only like very rarely that, anyway.
Make their opinion known.
As the leader of the official opposition of Alberta, Naheed Nenshi, speaks about Alberta separatism and the increasing threats facing our province and country.
We're facing a cost of living crisis that's squeezing everyone. We're facing a healthcare system that has, in many parts of this province, collapsed, a crisis like we've never seen before. We're seeing increasing pressure in our classrooms.
Phoenix Phillips, City News, Calgary.
That sounds like a
tastes like freedom
case for independence from Nenshi there.
Attempting to gather.
An Alberta separatist group is holding a petition signing event in Calgary. Hundreds lined up before the doors opened at the Big Four this morning. The question being asked is, do you agree that the province of Alberta should cease to be a part of Canada to become an independent state? Tyson Fedor is outside the Big Four Roadhouse tonight. Tyson, these Albertans feel the relationship with Ottawa is broken.
Tara, they say it cannot be fixed either. Albertans have been lining up here at the Big Four Roadhouse. We just got in here minutes ago as a rally's planned for this evening, but they've been lining up since about 11 o'clock this morning, coming in to sign that petition. Organizers telling me just minutes ago about 650 people were lined up here before 11 a.m. this morning. Organizers need about 177,000 signatures for this petition to be successful. If that's the case, we could see a referendum posed to Albertans this fall. Now, you can also sign the petition here until 7 o'clock this evening. That, of course, is when that rally will kick off behind me at the top of the hour. A steady stream of people braved chilly temperatures Monday to stamp their approval for separation from Canada.
We like Canada, we love Canada, but we are unsatisfied with the situation, with the policies.
We want independence from the rest of the Canada. I mean, everybody here probably loves the country, but this is what we're forced into.
Many here are frustrated. They want Alberta to be seen on a global stage. They believe the federal Liberal government failed Alberta for too long with anti-energy policies.
You can't just govern for two provinces, Ontario and Quebec. You have to listen to people in all of the country.
Alberta flags were visible. Some here want Alberta to be an independent country, opening up trade with the U.S., but not becoming a 51st state.
I don't think anybody in this lineup is interested in joining the U.S.
We're seeking a free and independent Alberta. And why the hell would we want to fight tooth and nail for a year and a half or 2 years to leave Canada in the clutches of the Canada Revenue Agency to put ourselves under the taxing jurisdiction of the U.S. Treasury?
Organizers with the Alberta Prosperity Project and Stay Free Alberta promise separation will lead to no income or carbon taxes. But that plan has not been rolled out.
I've made it very clear what my position is. It was my first bill, Alberta sovereignty within a united Canada. I want a new relationship with Ottawa.
If she continues with that, that's a real dereliction of leadership. You're talking about a referendum to break up the country, and you won't say what side you're on as a premier?
While Alberta's NDP caucus pledged Monday to...
I've heard that guy talk before. That guy's hysteria.
Always remain a part of Canada, denouncing separation.
Separatism is also a national security threat. It makes Albertans more vulnerable in intensely fragile times.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
The petition is active at signing locations across the...
Yeah, I'll definitely be reacting to that video. That is incredible. There's a bunch of good ones here.
Supporters of an Alberta separation referendum are gathering in Calgary today, and it comes as the province's political leaders weigh in. Mason Despatie is tracking all of this. Mason, what's happening today?
Well, Jefferson, the group Stay Free Alberta is hosting this event today in an effort to try and get signatures for its citizen-led referendum petition. It was originally set to take place.
Yeah, I hear that, but I actually don't care about, like, I think it's fine. I know they say that, oh, it's separatist. I don't know. I don't consider it negative, but sovereignty movement or self-determined. I mean, independence, I think, is a good phrase as well, but yeah. I don't care about that. I think separatism is fine. CTV is national, so not surprised. And he's a shill for the yeah. I'll do a YouTube video on those two videos because there's actually a lot of meat on the bone there to talk about. Good evening. Hello, Paul. Thank you, man. Thank you, Paul. Typical liberal says a sentence, then nothing to back it up. Yeah.
Inside the BMO Centre, but organizers say they had to move it to the Big 4 building to increase capacity. Now, the signing will start at 11 and finish with a rally at 7, acting as the latest.
Yeah, we'll watch the rally live, and then I will see kind of how it goes on the channel. But
it's flashpoint in Alberta's separatism debate.
I think a referendum would push more of an actual honest discussion about sovereignty and like what Alberta is able to do with what we have.
We have taxation without representation. It's just getting to a point where the government is spending more money than they're taking in. They're driving the value of the dollar down.
Organizers with Stay Free Alberta have until May 2nd to collect 177,000 signatures to trigger a referendum question. The event comes days after U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent suggested Alberta would be a natural fit with the United States if it were to separate. Comments that prompted a response.
See, again, that's definitely going to be the attack line that that they're going to try to say you're voting to become the 51st state. And that's going to be the boogeyman to try to scare away the people in the middle, I think.
From Premier Danielle Smith on her radio show Saturday, Smith said Albertans aren't looking to join the U.S.
I think they know that they've overplayed the racist, sexist, anti-immigrant crap. I think they know people's eyes will roll over because they're so sick of being told that they're racist for doing absolutely nothing at all. But I think they are under the impression that the Trump thing works because it kind of worked in the federal election. So that I bet you're going to hear that for the next, like, till this is like officially passed or not passed. For the next probably all of 2026, I bet you're going to hear that.
But want a new relationship with the federal government. She then reiterated her stance for a sovereign Alberta within a united Canada.
Anytime a U.S. official makes any comment about this, you're going to hear about it, I bet. Even if Joe Rogan, like if anybody talks about it.
I'm encouraged by the fact that I was able to get an MOU with the new Prime Minister, Mark.
I don't think that means really anything. Like if you're an Albertan, bro, oh, there's an MOU. Like, who gives a fuck? Just like a tiny little step. An agreement, an announcement. Canada loves announcements while people are dying waiting for healthcare.
Party, I'm encouraged by the fact that he keeps on talking about it and that he has a commitment to working with us to get that pipeline built. So I'm going to keep on doing that. I'm meeting with the U.S. ambassador next week. I have a First Minister's meeting that I'm going to, so I'll be meeting with the U.S. ambassador there. I'll make my views very clear.
And Jefferson, the opposition NDP will also be speaking about separatism today at noon, something it says is an increased risk for the province and Canada.
Okay, thanks, Mason.
Yeah, I see there's new chats, but it's just taken a while for them to come, which is annoying. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know what I feel like this software is kind of wishy-washy. I mean, I also did a week ago, I dropped water on my computer somehow. It's like basically a brand new computer, a few months old. And I don't even know how the hell I did that. But I don't think that's the problem. I think it's just the software I'm using is having some problems. We'll go back to this live here.
All right. So I'll put up the battery to get you one of these. No.
Yeah, 500 more people to be monetized. That'd be great.
Oh, I knocked the
Northern Guard, hello. Thank you for
I
chatting.
thought those were the ones we got
I'm moving
banned
to
from using.
Alberta if this meeting goes
I
through.
adjusted it.
You see the lines, right?
It's just slightly.
You can't beat them that much.
It's slightly less of a ripoff.
Yeah, let's.
And
Yeah,
we'll start planning.
fair enough. No, I'm going to eventually
March.
flood the merge
Your best
site
friend.
with the Freedom Honey merch,
Calgary.
Beaver County Militia stuff,
I want a
Freedom
Beaver
Honey
County
stuff.
Militia shirt.
Okay, now
I'll send you a membership card.
I don't.
All right.
The reason I say that is because
You got to laminate it yourself.
Okay.
I'll still do that.
Anything going on in the chat? Anything interesting?
Yeah. All right. We got.
I think it's
The super chat, $20.
everything else works.
Let's
except
do
for
this. I appreciate it.
not
Let us do
autism.
this.
I don't know what the issue is. I think
Ah,
part of the problem could
am I
be
ready?
just that I'm
Later,
It's
we're
gone,
streaming
right?
later. I'll put.
See, I think there's a problem just with this
Barney's flying all over the world. He's helping everyone except everyday Canadians.
Yeah.
with the streaming software or something.
So far, while I was driving here today in the morning, I
Right.
heard the news there actually planning to give away more GST right now to print more money. I was like, wow. Like, I think it's a good thing that we are having an event here right now because it's, they're actually with this kind of news, they're pushing more Albertans to come here and to vote because it's just madness that they're planning to print more money. As I was driving here, I was like, wow, it's the news don't stop. It's if Trump is going to
No, I know, but it got worse in 2015. It's incredible.
give us a 100% tariff right now, what are we going to do? Oh, we'll print more money. I was like, whoa, that's not the solution. Where does it end?
We as Albertans want a prosperous future for our future generations.
Exactly.
We aren't able to do that. 60% of the population are living on credit cards. Can't afford homes. He'll never afford a home unless something changes.
I agree with you. That's the reason why I'm here too, because it's I have a home, but I'm worried for my kids too. It's like I'm like, if nothing changes, then I have to, start saving up, or they'll have to live like a multi-generational home where one family just moves out, the next moves in, living with their parents forever until I pass away, so they can take over my property, and then they'll have a property. I was like, no, that's not the way.
Yeah, like this isn't the video I was thinking of, but this is kind of like a representation. Canada used to be right there with USA. There's a better one somewhere, but for how rich we are. But if you watch the Canadian news, it basically never gets brought up how salaries in Canada do not rise anymore. Like, look at this. We're right there with the USA. For quite some time, we're pretty close. Look at this, like this chart here. But then this is about the time Trudeau gets elected. And I'm not saying this is the only factor, but it's a huge factor. Trudeau was so bad and did not even give a shit about growth. Even when you watch news in Canada, nobody talks about growth. They just talk about affordability. There's no discussion on the other side. What's our economy like? What's the productivity in the country like? So look at this. Like, this is a bad video. It cuts off. But USA now is almost double our GDP per capita. Literally, like we used to be basically on par with them. Now we're getting smoked so hard that we're almost twice as poor. See, this isn't a bad representation, but it's something like 86K per person in the USA, and Canada's like 52, 53. Like we're trending probably in maybe 5 years to be half of an American for salary. And we used to be right there with them. We used to be on par or maybe 10% behind. And now we're just getting totally cooked. I'll try to.
Freedom fighters.
This is back in the Big Four rally.
Thank you very much. It's funny. Like on my Twitter, the last 24 hours, I got like an extra 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
Just from posting this stuff. I mean, a lot of it I think is in Americans just wanting to support what we're doing.
In the chat, do you guys want to look at the crowd until it starts, or you want to look at the stage? Take your pick.
Or let's. Here's
Another 5 minutes if they start on time.
Mick Moss, 7108, $5 super chat. They're in spirit. Let's go. Aaron Matthews, 4319, $5 super chat. So glad you guys could press pass. So we don't have to. As they got the prostitutes. Oh no, all the prostitutes were outside. They came early, and there was like 3 counter protesters. Couple people that Canada
I'm sure
flags.
they'll get all the airtime.
Oh yeah. So I mean,
3 dudes.
Yeah, the CBC was out there filming 3 guys. One guy was really tall. He was like 7 feet tall with a Canada flag, just kind of standing there dancing at himself. I mean, A for effort, I guess. But Aaron Matthew, thanks again for the super chat. You guys are just flooding. You guys are too good to us. Like the B team here, while like, where is it? Like Derek's going around like.
Now it's loading again.
Being glad handing.
Is it a Canada thing for the 1,000 subs? My channel, yeah, it's everyone for 1,000. You can monetize at 500, which I got now, but that's only super chats, memberships, and something else. Or you can like sell stuff. You can sell like a hat or something on your channel, which that's good. But the ads are the game changer. Like once you can run ads on your channel, that's 1,000. That's like another thing. And then just watch hours, which I have, but it takes a while for them to load. So I can't even, I got to wait maybe a few days till I can apply for the super chat stuff, just because it takes it's like a week behind.
All the important people.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, look at me. I'm the fringe gentleman.
The fringe. Did I mention that I am the fringe?
It's
a pin? What do we got?
Marty, yeah. Do you want a pin? Here's a pin. I'll give you a pin for a pin.
Thanks. Trip in for a pin. You're not.
Yeah. Now what about BC? Yeah, a lot of provinces, if this is successful, will get ideas. That's for sure.
No, I'm not.
Because that guy we covered in that video, I mean, he said it, I think, quite well. Just the random dude on the street. The government represents Ontario and Quebec. And they do that because that's where the power is. That's where like there's over half the country lives in Ontario and Quebec. And it's also geographically where the government is. Like Ottawa is basically on the border with Ontario and Quebec.
I'm the alternate fringe. I'm the one who's live with him on Wednesday.
I'm the Monday show guy.
Yeah, I've seen this guy quite a few times. Fringe is funny. I've been watching his stuff lately.
Yeah. You're starting on Wednesdays.
Yes,
right?
6 months now.
Yeah. 6 months.
Yeah.
Where the hell are
I don't know.
No, it's all right. What do you want to get? Are you okay? Want to get filmed? Having a conversation?
Yeah, exactly.
1 second. I'm going to sneeze.
All right. We're going to have a conversation. Thanks for your support, brother.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
What's up, Richard? Yes. How are you? We spoke earlier already. How you doing? You enjoying the vibe?
Oh, yeah, dude. It's amazing.
You got a good seat?
I will stand.
Pardon?
I will stand.
Okay.
I can see from the back. It's all right. Dude.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. You can probably see from outside.
Like guys right now, like Matt is 6 foot tall, and yeah.
He's a big boy.
I'm a big boy.
This guy's
That's how we grow
this
him in
guy
Alberta.
is like 6'7". That's
You can tell him from Ontario.
Okay.
I can see from the back. It's all right. Dude.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. You can probably see from outside.
Like guys right now, like Matt is 6 foot tall, and
That's the most Albertan man in the world. Those videos.
yeah.
He's a big boy.
He wants
I'm a big boy.
to convince the grizzly bear.
That's how we grow him in Alberta.
Exactly.
You can tell I'm from Ontario. I'm a handsome 5'8".
Thanks, man. Enjoy the show.
Wise and Frosty. I signed in Calgary today. I have zero faith in elections Alberta, but I had to do something. Where this goes doesn't matter because the alternative is sitting in a sinking ship chained to the oars. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Turn on super chat, Eric. I'll donate. Oh, thank you. I'll probably put my link for I actually have a link for PayPal. Let me just one second. You don't have to, but
Oh, Dutchy with the $69.99 super chat.
Dutchy again.
Again, he just flopping it out. And I know he's here.
He's here somewhere.
Dutchy, come find us. Yeah, you guys want to get Dutchy on this? Dutchy, come find us. Right at the front.
We got to get Dutchy on.
Yeah, we got to get him on here. Everyone's got to meet the famous Dutchy. Come now. Everyone tell Dutchy on the chat to come find us. We're at the front,
right by the stage.
Yeah, we're
not hard to find.
Not hard to meet. Look at the
guy with the cowboy hat. Oh, there's a couple of those out here.
Yeah.
Not as many as you would think, though.
No, I'm a little disappointed of the cowboy hat to people ratio. Like, that's a solid one back there. There's a few other ones.
That big guy who's just here, Mike Hot Sauce.
It's a great hat.
It's a great hat. Big dude, cowboy looking motherfucker. Whoa, I caught it.
Oh, we are so going to get in trouble. Tiffany's in the chat. Just, you guys need to quit swearing. You guys need to quit swearing.
I'm sorry I talk like a normal person.
You in your trucker mouth, Matt. Okay, yeah, everyone harass Dutchy in the chat and tell him to come see us. We got to get this guy on here. He's too important to the Fringe family.
So over here, we can see that's Derek's over there with all the very important people. They're getting ready to start the show in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I put it
over here.
You don't have to because it won't show up. But the thing about Super Chat on YouTube, it's good, but there's other ones that take less of the money. But it's still good to get Super Chats. Like on my other YouTube channel, I don't go live, but I get like I don't know what's called, super sticker or something, maybe just people donating. But I put a PayPal link in my description for this YouTube channel. If you donate, though, it won't show up on screen or anything. I won't do like a fancy.
People lined up, standing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the back looks like now. I'm going to lift this thing.
Oh, there he is. There he is. There's the man himself.
I don't know if you guys can see the back because I can't see the camera.
Okay, everyone will see the famous Dutchy.
This sounds like you're speaking in like a gypsy curse. What does that mean? Sociopathic culty violence never really produces afterlives. I mean, that sounds like you put into Chat GPT, what is a weird thing to say that makes no sense? Trump is a diddly weirdo. Kids don't like blank blank as politicians. I mean, I like Trump, so that's fine. When you get real popular, Eric, moderate me. I'll keep the trolls out. Cool. I like the trolls, though. I probably will. As long as, like, I'll kick trolls sometimes if they keep going off, but...
Here we go. Get ready.
The mic stand giving you a hard time?
Yeah, I'll eventually have the mods.
Get in here.
There he is. There.
I haven't thought about how I'm going to set up the mods, but yeah, thank you for saying that. I probably will do that. Somebody else mentioned that.
This is Dutchy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream.
How you guys doing? Yeah, full event. Let me take these out.
2610, $20 super chat. Thank you, Fringe, for all you do. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do. At the end of the day, guys, just share the chat.
We're here for you guys.
Yeah,
if nobody's watching, then there's no point in us doing what we do either, right?
Yeah. At 306-275-2198. Welcome to the Fringe. Members. Yeah, it's just literally just a number.
Is that a bot?
No, if it is, he's buying memberships. Thanks, guys.
Oh, we're a minute past the hour. We should be starting any time now.
Yeah, I was going to go somewhere else, but I'll stay it on here because they're pretty close to starting the event. I'll definitely stay here.
Oh, there's Derek. The man himself, the legend.
True Tech, you're going off about Trump, I think, right now. Maybe.
Hey, Fred, you're late. You're late.
Well, nobody's perfect. How is everybody? How's the stream going? Excellent. I don't know if anybody can hear you, so I'm just gonna... I got you. I got him.
Yeah, I hear you, Wise. I hear you. I think a lot of people, I mean, the 90s were better. Even the first little bit of the 2000s.
You got him?
People can hear you guys okay? Yep. Okay. How is everybody?
Yeah, we're just...
Hey, True Tech, call into the show then if you're so smart. Call into the show. I don't know. Like, this is a show about, the title of this is about Alberta independence. So you want to come in here and do Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, whatever, you can, I guess, but you're like out of your mind. You should, like, what are you talking about, dude? You're just like a creepy weirdo. And you're too big of a coward to even come on stage.
Chat here is frozen. It's not doing anything.
It's not
doing anything. That's okay.
It doesn't matter. We're just reading.
I know you're too big of a coward. I can tell.
There we go. Well, I appreciate everything you got.
So maybe stop hating yourself and go somewhere else where you want to spread Trump derangement syndrome. This isn't even about Trump, dude. Let him go. Trump owns your life. It's embarrassing, dude. Your head is just infected with Trump. Like, do you go to bed, sleep thinking about him? Do you have a crush on Trump? I don't care. No, this is true Trump derangement syndrome. This is bad. This is bad bait. Plus, getting baited. Calling these people out is funny for me.
Guys are doing. Guys, throw one in the chat for a win for Mike and Matt. The whole interview with Dutch. We got him on the screen.
Yeah, we got
him
up here.
I'm glad to see that. These guys really are doing.
Call into the show. Call into the show then, buddy.
God's work, folks, because as the Fringe is up on the stage, this is why I bring in these personalities onto the channel. I think they're fantastic. I really think they're wonderful. I got to throw in a little Trump because we can't do it later. But hey, this is what we're all here for, right? Independence.
Dutchie's just nailing out with the super chat. Like, yeah, he's just sitting back there, just super chatting like a boss.
Can we find out what Dutchie does for a living? Because I'd sure like to make that kind of money.
Yeah, $69 chat, Dutchie. There is no hiding this now. Canada is getting put on notice.
The genie's out of the bottle, folks. It ain't going back in. I don't know if Matt, have you shown the room yet?
Yeah, we're gonna do another quick pass. We're gonna do
I'm a Trumper. Trump is my religion. Trump 2028. Cry harder, buddy. If you don't hate yourself, you'll call into the show and defend your position. But you might hate yourself, so we'll see.
Another pass. Hey, what do you guys think about the cowboy hat? Throw a one in the chat if you, or well, no, I said one's for Mike. Throw a two in the chat if you want the cowboy hat to stick around on the channel for a while. I think it's a good thing for the West. I think it's wonderful. Derek, they're ready for you. They're ready for me.
All right, guys.
Enjoy your evening, everybody.
Derek's got to go do the thing.
Okay, well, if they're ready for him, we don't have time for a walk then, because he's about to start speaking.
Yeah. $139.99 super chat from Dutchie as well.
Yeah, the thing is, if Alberta actually leaves, it'll be good for the Liberal Party electorally. They'll have a ways or time getting majority governments.
Dutchie, starting to fill up. Steady flow in 3 and Edinburgh, Alberta. Thank you very much. Everybody, give Dutchie a big thumbs up on that one. The guy is the legend.
So they just pulled Derek backstage and said they're ready for him. And since he's emceeing the event, he's going to be first up to the podium. So we should be getting going any minute here now. How many people are here? I couldn't even begin to count. I'm not even sure. Mike gave me the stick. He went to go find his wife, I think. Cowboy hat for Alberta. Tiff in the chat. What up, Tiff?
Okay, I'm just going to ban you because you're an idiot, dude. You don't even like yourself enough to talk to me. You don't need to turn your camera on. You troll like this. Like, people like you literally are ruining the internet. Anonymous cowards that hide behind a fake account. Like, what are you, 400 pounds and live in your mom's basement? That sucks, dude. I don't know. Go to the gym, do something productive. Maybe start a YouTube channel, but you hate yourself, so you won't do it. Okay, that guy's gone. Fuck that guy.
Carson El Gringo. This is my first time holding the stick tonight with the chat, so just kind of hi, everybody. I'll tell you this, it's packed in here, and it keeps filling up even more.
All right, guys, I want to introduce you guys to a friend of mine. This is Michael Harris. He was basically the runner-up after the OSB campaign. Michael's been doing wonderful work at university campuses in Calgary. Talk a little bit about what you're doing.
Okay, so young people, they want to put in the work. They want to actually put in the work to make their life affordable. Most of these students work 30 to 40 hours a week. They live paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford to live under this Liberal government. More and more students are turning towards Alberta independence because they want, as my flag says, to not be treaded on. They want to live individually, and they don't want the government to ruin their lives.
Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it. All right, the show must go on. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your night, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I love this kid. He's doing beautiful work. Going to go far. We're ready to go. We're gonna sit. Yep. All right, guys. We're gonna
sit down and
just make inappropriate comments. Take back your stick.
I know the left has become like a hateful mob.
I can't touch the super chats. I don't know how to work that thing. Here we go. Oh, hang on.
This is good because I'm not even monetized yet, so I don't care about music.
Run deep in the west, and the time now has come for leaving. The country has slipped far away, and gone is our trust for believing. Our leaders divide us, our culture race, the laws now what they are wielding. Our resource they hate, our taxes they waste, and criminals always they're shielding. It's time we must leave, a choice that's not small, but good by elites in our home. There's fire in our souls and dreams in our hearts, Alberta set free. A fresh start, our homes are our castles, our children are crowned, so here's where we'll all stand our ground. Where taxes are low and freedom is found, the world will be Alberta bound. It's time we must leave, a choice that's not small, but good by elites in Ottawa. There's fire in our souls and dreams in our hearts, Alberta set free. A fresh start.
Really get the whole thing. Fucking down the street.
You're failing. There's no cure for all that's ailing. Crime is rising, drugs are flowing, government jobs is all that's growing. Your fiscal shifts quickly sinking down. Elbows on the circus of crime. Mass immigration leads to decline. Net zero shelf where no sun will shine. They're holding us over a barrel of deep. Just watch when Alberta's unleashed. Choice is not small, but good by elites in Ottawa. There's fire in our souls and dreams in our hearts. Alberta set free. A fresh start.
Way to go, folks. Way to be here.
Woo! Hello, Calgary!
That's that was a good song.
This turnout. My gosh, this is incredible. We are here this evening to celebrate the Stay Free Alberta petition and getting everything organized and ready to go for a referendum to an Alberta strong and free. My name is Nicole, and I'm here tonight to welcome our MC up to the stage. But before I bring him up here, I'm just going to take care of a couple housekeeping items. I'm going to let you know that the exits, emergency exits, are on the side walls over here. We do have a hearing impaired interpreter up on stage with us this evening because we have a handful of people in the corner. Let's give them a huge round of applause. There are also washrooms. There's washrooms over here on this side as well as in the back. So if you do need to use them, feel free. I'd like to also send out a huge welcome to our vendors in the back. Please make sure you go and see them. We have some Stay Free Alberta lawn signs. Those are available in the back for $20 cash. If you would like one of those, please go grab them. We have many for you. So that's one of the things I wanted to let you know. I would also like to say a huge round of applause for our volunteers. They are incredible. Without our volunteers, we wouldn't have this amazing venue and the amazing outcome. They are downstairs signing petitions this evening. The doors will close at 10 o'clock. If you get down there and you are in line, we will take you until we're done with the last one. So if you have not signed and you would like to, please go downstairs and visit our volunteers that are down there. The other thing I wanted to let you know is we do have donations and we will be passing around buckets while we are doing our event. So it'll be going on throughout the event because there are a lot of you here. So if you'd like to donate, $50 or less can go into the buckets. That's only $50 or less. If you'd like to make a donation higher than $50, you'll see our volunteers over on the side and go see them. All right, those are all of my list items that I wanted to chat with you about, but I want to get you guys excited. So I am going to, on the count of 3, I would like for you guys to give me a let's go. So 1, 2, 3, let's go! And with that, I will introduce our MC this evening, Derek from Unacceptable Fringe. Please welcome him to Derek.
Show, I just want to take a minute to acknowledge and thank Nicole.
I think he is probably my favorite right now creator in Canada. His show is pretty good. Like his show is really funny.
I love it. Before we get started tonight, folks, before I continue on with this show, I just want to take a minute to acknowledge and thank Nicole, Stay Free Alberta. Without the hard work from Nicole and all of our volunteers, all of our canvassers, everybody at this event, you wouldn't be sitting in this chair tonight. The strenuous work that they go through, the tireless efforts they're putting forward. Nicole, thank you for everything. We owe an unpayable debt to Dr. Modry, to Jeff Rath, and to Mitch Sylvester for the work that they've done. And I know that debt is unpayable because, believe me, folks, I've seen Jeff Rath's rates, and you can.
I didn't know that, Punisher.
I want to talk for a moment before I bring on our guests about why I'm here tonight. The same reasons I think many of you are. When I was in my teens, my father moved us to this province from Manitoba, and I sat in a moving truck with him and said, "Why are we going to Alberta? Why did you make me uproot my life to go to Alberta, of all places?" He said to me, "Alberta is a province of opportunity. It's a province where you can make anything out of yourself as long as you're willing to work hard, get your hands dirty, and put in a good 9 to 5.
Hello, TCL. Thank you for chatting.
That opportunity has fled this province. A couple of decades of bad policies, corrupt government, and abuse from the east. Many politicians have said that this country's broken. Right now, Mark Carney is making deals with China. He's burning this country to the ground. But from the ashes, this province, like a phoenix, is going to rise to the greatest republic that's ever existed in a prosperous nation for every man, woman, and child who lives within its borders.
Bars.
The opportunity my father spoke of will return because of everyone sitting out here, everyone who has gone and lined up across this province, everyone exercising their democratic right for a free and fair Alberta. I can tell you right now, I have never been more proud of this province than I have been watching all of you standing in those lines, signing up for freedom. Now you have to forgive me because there's a little bit of a technical glitch when it comes to my guests. I'm going to bring out my first guest this evening. Before we do, actually, poll everywhere is going to be up on your screen there, folks. If you guys want to get a shot of that QR code, we're going to be asking your input on several questions tonight. There'll be about a 30-second window per poll, so make sure you get your phones out. Keep in mind, with steel buildings, there may be issues with reception, so bear with us, folks. We're doing everything we can. As that first question is popping up on the screen, I just want to remind everybody that this is a grassroots-driven event with Stay Free Alberta. Donations to help fund this campaign can be made over at the table on the side over here, only to a limit of $50. Anybody wanting to contribute more than $50, ask at the table. They will arrange for who you need to speak with in order to. I will bring up our first question of the evening.
It's not about a 51st state, though, TCL. Yeah.
Coming into this event, how do you feel about an independent Alberta? One word, click and submit. As you can see, everything's popping up on the screen real time.
It's pretty cool, though. It kind of feels like we're there. Not really, but pretty close.
See words like cheerful, inspired, hopeful, optimistic, freedom, excited, overdue, encouraging, exhilarating, empowered. This is the path Albertans are choosing to take tonight, folks, and it's one that's unstoppable. The country wants to pretend that we don't have the right to do this. They keep saying you can't leave. You can't vote your way out of it. The last time I checked, folks, we weren't asking their permission.
Yeah, and the Democrats wouldn't want Alberta because it would vote right.
Next on the screen, vote for one topic of greatest interest to you within an independent Alberta. Canada Pension Plan transfer to an Alberta pension plan. RCMP funding, military and policing. Finance, taxes, currency considerations, swap and credit lines. Alberta's sovereign Indigenous people in an independent Alberta. Oil pipelines, sustainability of the environment, or immigration and deportation plan. Please cast your votes.
Yep, that tracks.
I can only guess.
I love like the live up. Lovely, like the live feed.
This is cool, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah, exactly, Mountain Woman. That I expect, as I said, to be like the main attack line to try to slur the movement. We're getting more people.
Sorry, folks. Sorry, guys. I'll get to the super chats, but
It's really hard for me to record that screen because we're so close to it and we have the vertical
Alberta
video.
wrong when I made the stream. I was kind of tired. I just spelled it like instead of E, I spelled A-B, A-L-B, R-R-T-A.
Yep.
So maybe it wasn't getting much discovery because it was like Alberta. I can't even really say that.
Yeah, finances, taxes.
Yeah, first comes the deportation, then the finances.
Yeah,
those are
money
the top
and
two.
the deportation. Yeah. Hey guys, thanks again. Let's just get it. Sean P73 gifting 20 unacceptable fringe memberships.
On
Thank
the
you very
screen,
much.
folks, you're going to see a number of slides talking about the importance of an independent Alberta. If you haven't seen these slides yet, make sure to go over to stayfreealberta.com. You can always check out their resources. Again, a wonderful, wonderful plethora of resources up there.
Carson.
I'm going to now invite my first speaker, Mr. Jim Sinclair, up onto the stage.
Carson gifting 10 unacceptable French memberships. Thank you, good sir.
He's reserved
Joe
for
Lyman
33
becoming a member
years
for 7
service,
months.
served in the Princess Patricia Canadian Light Infantry. He served with the Canadian Airborne Regiment 2 Commando, the Canadian Para Company, and the Royal Regina Rifles. He served in Croatia, Bosnia, and Afghanistan with 33 years experience. Jim will speak on the values that this country was formed upon. Give him a big round of applause and thank him for his service.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Wise, I'm more of a city person, to be honest with you. Maybe not a huge city, but I live in Calgary and also Bonneville.
Standing ovation, ladies and gentlemen.
I like them both.
Standing O.
But I'm a bit more of a city. The people there. Very cool. Thank you, Jen.
I get pretty emotional when I see what this Canada, what this group of people are actually trying to do. That was amazing. I appreciate the applause. 33 years ago when I joined the Army, you would ask me then if I'd be standing in front of a bunch of amazing people like you are. I wouldn't believe I'd be here. And I really feel everybody in this room 33 years ago probably didn't ever think our country would be in the situation it's in right now.
True.
So as a young man, when I joined the Army, it came to a point where I realized what my job was going to do. I had to do some soul searching to find a motive, a reason that I could take another person's life. And I was going to quit the Army and just find another thing to do on the farm, like my mom wanted me to do. But I found my reason to put my life on the line and actually take other lives by the men and the women that were beside me. And that was why I stayed and made a career out of it. And I do it all over again. So that was the second.
Just real quick for anybody chatting, we're not going to be doing too much talking while this guy is speaking.
The values that I learned as a young man in the community that was full of veterans from World War II, they stick with me to this day. And there's a picture I think it's behind me or wherever it is. There was a picture that was on the screen that showed me on top of a burning school in Afghanistan where they executed the girls that were going to that school. We were in a position where we were going to be overrun, and I was fighting with the American Army at the time. And anyways, I didn't have a picture of me if we were to get killed. They put it on the news. So I quickly took my helmet off, put on my beret. I was part of the Regina Rifles then, fighting with the Patricias, but like I said, we're attached to the Americans. And I asked the Americans to take a quick picture of me in case that was going to be my last day. And I wanted it to show the people of Canada that I was determined to be there, and I was dying because I believed in this nation. And unfortunately, that's not what's going on here right now. And the values that our soldiers went and fought for in World War I and World War II, they're not represented in our country anymore. I was also involved in an incident where in Croatia, I was involved in a mine incident where my sergeant was wounded. Another man was killed instantly, and there was another engineer sergeant in that minefield. And when you enter a minefield, there's a process you're supposed to go through, and you find the mines, make a trail, and evacuate people safely. Well, the minefield started on fire, so that option was right out the window. And like I'm standing up here now looking at all of you people, I was standing on top of a vehicle that was blowing up in the incident as well. And I was looking across this field, this really tall, high grass, and the death and destruction in front of me. And I was looking for my boss because I knew that guy was dead. And I saw my RV partner stand up, and he was through this tall grass. The only way to get to him before everybody burnt alive in the fire was to run through this minefield and pull out what I loved at that time was that man to get him out of there. And I ran into another guy while I was there. So it turned into a situation, but that's basically what's going on now is that we love a part of this country. We're running into a minefield that's on fire, and you don't know how you're going to do it, but through teamwork, you're going to get through this, and we're going to pull this off.
Yes, we are.
And you're going to hear lots of talk today about currency and money, and the most important currency that we all have is the blood that courses through our veins.
That's one I got.
And that's the number one currency of a country. And that country, this country in Canada, the men that spilled that blood, the most valuable currency that we all have, that paid for this nation and paid for our values and our morals that we should be living by. They're not there, and I hope to see that in a near free in Alberta.
Yes.
Anyways, I'm honored to be here. I won't take up any more of your time. I thank you very much. And I love you guys, and God bless.
Alberta Boy, $100 super chat. I agree with the Fringe. I've never been more proud of my nation. I was born in. All these folks should be proud to take stand and participate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this show rolling. Let's bring out our next guest of the evening, our next speaker for you tonight. There's waiting for them to update the slide.
Oh, there's a slide there.
Miss Eva Chipia.
I'm just going to put the speed up to kind of catch up to the live.
Focused on safeguarding property rights in the context of major energy developments and advocating for civil liberties and legal challenges against the government. Significant highlight for civil liberties having seen as a rare opportunity to cross-examine Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, during a live broadcast that garnered global attention. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Eva Chipia.
When she comes up, though, I'll put it back to normal.
Good evening, Calgary.
We're basically caught up. We're like a minute
Right now,
40 behind, but
there's
it's
a
not
lot of
big deal.
excitement about the prospect of an independence referendum in Alberta, and rightly so. It's truly inspiring to see Albertans paying attention, asking serious questions, and preparing to directly exercise their democratic voices, lawfully, peacefully, and powerfully. Citizen engagement at this scale is not something to fear. It's something to respect and protect. I remember back in the 1990s when I was a young girl, hearing about the talk about the Quebec referendum. I didn't really understand what it meant. In my child's mind, I imagined that if Quebec voted yes, it would somehow float away and become its own little island. I guess the other side of the room is getting the audio later. What strikes me today is not that a child once misunderstood a constitutional question, but that decades later, many adults still do. Because even now, there are people who speak as though Alberta voting on its future would result in chaos and disorder overnight. That is simply not the case. That is why I am here today, to inspire confidence in the process and to address directly and without apology those who deliberately sow fear while disparaging fellow citizens. A healthy democracy does not mock civic engagement. It depends on it, and it thrives because of it. So let us set aside the noise, speculation, and deliberate nonsense, and focus on one simple question. What does the day after a successful referendum actually look like? Cheering is encouraged. In the morning, when we, the citizens of the beautiful and resilient province of Alberta, wake up to the news that Albertans have exercised their right to self-determination and voted to become a truly free and independent nation, life continues much as it did the day before. Let that settle the alarmists and the fearmongers. Legally speaking, the Constitution will not disappear. The laws of Canada will remain in force. Courts will continue to function. Contracts remain binding. Schools and hospitals remain open. Businesses will continue to power the life of the province. Life will go on. What does change is something far more powerful and unprecedented in Alberta history. The great people of Alberta will have spoken clearly and lawfully. And that injects something into the system that cannot be ignored: honesty. And don't we need a good dose of that? A clear democratic mandate from the people strips away pretense and political games. It forces public institutions and office holders to confront what Albertans actually want, rather than what's most convenient for them. Elected officials, federally, provincially, and including Indigenous leadership, are no longer free to dismiss, delay, and deflect. They are constitutionally required to listen, and more than that, they are required to act. When the people speak clearly, the obligations of those in power changes. That is democracy functioning exactly as designed. That is what the day after looks like. This referendum is not a tantrum. It is not rebellion, and it's not a negotiating tactic. And it certainly is not treason.
I'm okay with treason. Fuck it.
A referendum is one of the simplest and most direct expressions of the democratic will of the people. Even the Supreme Court of Canada has been clear on this point, and this cannot be ignored. Albertans are law-abiding people. We do not rush change, but when change becomes necessary, we meet it responsibly. And we all know why this moment has arrived. We see it in our daily lives, in rising costs, declining services, and growing distrust in institutions meant to serve the public. The reason Albertans are demanding better government is simple. The system is no longer delivering what it promised.
Yes, that is it right there. But we're still paying for it.
This referendum will not solve every problem overnight, but it will do something essential. It will force honesty into the system and return responsibility where it belongs, with the people.
Yeah.
Self-determination is not radical. Democratic participation is not dangerous. Asking a question is not treason. An informed and engaged citizenry is not a threat to democracy. It is proof that democracy is still alive. Alberta's future will not be built by fear, but by those willing to meet it head on with clarity, integrity, and resolve. This moment demands confidence. The people have a will, the people have a voice, and when that will and voice is heard, it must be respected. And that's why we're here today, because hope deserves a response. We are here today answering that call, standing up for a system where citizens are not afraid to challenge the government. We are here defending open debate without censorship. We are here protecting a society that encourages disagreement rather than punishing it. Insisting on leadership that respects citizens instead of disparaging them.
In between,
and
I'll get
calling
another
for a
good
government
shot of the crowd.
that is transparent
People are
about how
asking for
public
it. I guess you
money
guys
is
can hear me.
spent.
In between speakers, I'll get a really good shot.
Yeah. And most of all, we're here because we believe in a place where the basics of a good life are now not out of reach, where streets are safe, where groceries are affordable, where families can get ahead, where our youth can build a future. Where hard work is rewarded and not eroded by policies made far away.
How's it a yes?
Public trust cannot be demanded, it must be earned. A free society does not tell its people to sit down, stay quiet, and do as you're told. A free society listens. Woo! So if you're tired of being dismissed, of being told to comply without question, tired of being silenced, this is your moment. I am inviting all of you to make your voices heard, clearly, confidently, and so that Ottawa hears it once and for all.
Yeah!
Which one's on? Oh, here we go. Have a chip back, ladies and gentlemen. Now for the man of the hour. The man who's going to get us to an independent republic. Mitch Sylvester speaks on the missed justices, federal government, current events, and our plan for our current referendum petition. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mitch Sylvester to the stage.
Thank you very much. I've never taken a selfie, but I'm going to take a picture with all of you right now. Thank you. Let's talk politics. How many of you is the first political meeting?
Oh, he's gonna walk, all right.
Oh, there's a lot of veterans in the room. Do you agree that the province of Alberta shall cease to be a part of Canada to become an independent state? Just in case there's a question out there. That question is directly out of the clarity. The word state does not mean 51st state. So just understand, we spent a month in court on the last question, So this one we took exactly out of the Clarity Act. It's in the Canadian Constitution. So that is what it is. It means that we will become an independent country on our own. So just to be clear, I get asked that every night, and away we go. I'll get my clicker out of my pocket here. Okay, we desire, and every Canadian desires, that the great trade of the prairies shall go to enrich our people in the East, to build up factories in the workshops of Eastern Canada, and contribute in every way to its prosperity. So how about this? We desire, every Albertan desires, that the great trade of Alberta shall go to enrich our own people, our kids, our grandkids, to build up factories and the workshops of Alberta and contribute in every way to our prosperity. We're the business arrangement. This is what the people in the East think about us. You, the West, will think the rest. That has been the way it's been for 120 years. We want to know what's going on. If you were in a business arrangement with a group of people that didn't respect you and continued to abuse you, would you stay in that business arrangement? No. The Federation is working exactly the way it's designed to work. Understand this. Western Canada has a population of 11.7 million people. They have 24 senators. Atlantic Canada has a population of 2.4 million and has 30 senators. But it gets worse. Alberta has a population of 4.4 million people, and we have 6 senators. We have twice as many people as Atlantic Canada, and they have 30 senators. How can we possibly get a decision go our way? And it's no different than the other side of the house. This is how the country's broken up. 42 seats in BC, 14 and 14 makes 28. That's 70. Add 34 Alberta seats. That doesn't even add up to what Ontario has. Yep. Supreme Court justices, 2 for all of Western Canada, 3 for Ontario, 3 for Quebec, 1 for the Maritimes. And equalization payments, how does that work? I'll tell you how it works. Quebec doesn't put Hydro-Quebec in their balance sheet. So Alberta puts our LPACs in their balance sheet, and Quebec becomes a have-not province as a consequence of that, and we end up paying them a whole bunch of money. And $13.3 billion, and it's year after year. But here's a slide that I really want you to pay attention to. Those numbers are equalization payments per taxpayer. Look at the number in New Brunswick, $6,500 per taxpayer. In PEI, $6,100 per taxpayer. I want you to understand something. They are buying votes with our money. That's exactly what they're doing. We give $47 billion a year to Ottawa, every single year. $40,000 per Alberta household. And a pension, let's go there. So the first thing I want you to understand is you will not lose your pension. You will remain a Canadian citizen in a free and independent Alberta. The second thing I want you to see is who's paying the bill. Look at that big red line at the bottom left. That's what Alberta pays. BC pays $8.9 billion. Everybody else is a net taker. Understand this. Alberta seniors collect $6 billion a year. Our taxpayers pay $9 billion a year to the CPP. We have a $3 billion a year overage. That $3 billion according to the CPP Act is supposed to go into a fund for Alberta seniors. And that's since the 60s. And that's a rule that Ontario put in because it didn't want to pay more than its share. So what happened? We, according to the CPP Act, would call back our over-contribution plus interest anytime the Premier chooses to do that. So I'm asking the question, why hasn't she done it? Just the capital matter? That number that Ottawa owes us today is $400 billion. Now I want you to unpack that a little bit. Just understand this. CPP is claiming to get 9.5%, so we'll round it off at 10% interest. So just the interest on that money is $40 billion a year, plus a $9 billion contribution. Our seniors collect $6. We would have a $43 billion net on that. We can afford to give our seniors a 6-fold increase in pay and not touch a principal. This is one of the town halls that I hosted with the Premier, and she said something that I remember, and it was the way she said it. It was more the way she said it than anything else. When I became Premier, I thought I would fix everything in 6 or 7 months, but everything is broken. At her level, that means everything's too corrupt to fix. Look what Mr. Carney's given us. All the major projects Ottawa's announced. You see any in Alberta? Absolutely not. But the RCMP are aware of 4,000 organized crime groups operating within Canada. 4,000 organized crime groups. It's because we have no racketeering and no money laundering laws here. And look at the crime has risen in Canada in the past 10 years. Look at the bottom three. Human trafficking, extortion, child pornography.
The highest one.
That's all.
Jesus.
That's all organized crime type stuff. Let's look at what the Liberals have done to us in the last 10 years. Just in case you're feeling bad about this. Understand that Alberta is one of the richest pieces of real estate in the world, if not the richest. We would easily be one of the richest countries in the world right off the bat. We have trillions of dollars in resources. And what we have, more importantly, is a group of people that understand how to work, understand how to produce. We're producers, we're business people, and what we fervently wish is for Ottawa to get the heck out of our, and stay in their lane, and get out of our roads so we can make Alberta's prosperous. Now here's what I consider to be the major problem of why we cannot negotiate with Ottawa. I was asked several times today, even I did a couple CBC interviews. I said, what do you think of an independent Alberta within Canada? Yeah, they're talking to me now. An independent Alberta within Canada. Well, I said, it's not possible. And they said, why is that? I said, because you can't negotiate with criminals. Woo! So when plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. An audit of $187 billion worth of rural infrastructure spending finds 20,000 missing projects. Now let's unpack that for a minute. Just understand what that means. What that means is those projects were paid for, but they don't exist. Right? They paid for 20,000 projects out of a $187 billion budget, but those projects were never built. Mr. Gilbo, it's like 250. Into his account. A life can. Let's talk about a life can. What did they do? They went to court, they lost, so the judge sealed it for 75 years. Mr. Trudeau, $400 million green fund, 250 scandal. They didn't account for the money. $250 million spent on the vaccine factory that never built the vaccine. So we're already talking about $1 billion worth of theft here that we can see very clearly. And I just want to ask everybody another question. Did we elect kings?
Nope.
How many people in the room think that the Liberal government is stealing from us? Hands up. So that's the problem. We understand that it's happening. We know they're doing it. They know we know we're doing it. But then what are we going to do about it? So they sealed that for 75 years. So I'm going to ask another question. Do you think they would do that if it was you and stole a whole bunch of money? Mr. Trudeau spent. Mr. Trudeau spent $11,000 million on overseas gender program. $11,000 million. I want to ask you, how many of you think that there was any money laundering that went on there? So let's just play this game. So you go to a foreign government and say, you know what, I'm going to give you $1 million for a gender program, which would give me $900 million back. What do you think the odds are that happen? I'm not sure that happened. I'm not going to pretend that I know that happened, but I think it did. And the one thing I want you to know about that is once that money leaves the country, how can they trace it? Foreign interference is the greatest strategic threat facing Canada's national security, says CSIS.
I think the biggest security threat to Canada is China. We're hardened by the leadership of President Xi Jinping and the speed with which our relationship has progressed in recent months. I believe the progress that we've made
See you, Jenny. Have a great night.
sets us up well for the new world.
All right, election integrity. Mr. Carney absolutely said that he agreed that we had a foreign interference problem. But Mr. Trudeau found 11 federal candidates that China reportedly aided in our election. So does that mean that we have free and fair election? And why didn't Mr. Trudeau have to look at it? He said he couldn't find anybody. I found one for him, Mary and G. See that look on her face? She's being asked right now what happened to the $130 million that her ministry had to create startups and jobs. And she didn't know where it went. And she never went to jail. How is it possible that we can make a deal with these people when they're absolutely criminal and everybody knows it, including them? And this is where this all started. In 2015, Mr. Trudeau said there's no core identity, no mainstream in Canada, and consequently that makes us the first post-national state. New World Order. That started in 2015. They've been planning that ever since. There is nothing accidental about the path we're on. Not one thing accidental about the path we're on. Here's the ring that controls all the rings. In 1954, there was a statute in the Criminal Code of Canada that said it was illegal for the media to lie to the public. However, in 2019, yeah, that's funny, right? But it never used to be that way. However, in 2019, Bill C-39 was voted on and passed in Parliament to remove it. So they can lie to you. So our government passed a bill that made it legal for them to lie to you. Step one. Step two, Mr. Trudeau said the very concept of a nation founded by European settlers is offensive to me. He's offended by us. Old stock white Canadians are an unpleasant relic and quite frankly replaceable. And we will replace them. So let's just be very clear here. I'm not mad at the immigrants. They came here for what they thought we had growing up. I can't be angry with them. That is not their problem. The problem here is uncontrolled immigration. And what did he do? Look at the graph. 2015, when Mr. Harper was in power, 15 million immigrants have come into Canada since 2015. We have a population of 44 million. 15 million new people since then. It's like having to put build an Edmonton, the infrastructure of an Edmonton every year to keep up to that. It's absolutely not sustainable. 1.94 million temporary resident applications this year. And I'm going to ask you a question really about national security. If we're allowing...
That is so fucking stupid.
2 million immigrants into the country every year, would it be unreasonable to think that maybe 200,000 of them could be foreign soldiers? I'm just asking you, would that be unreasonable to think that? So why would our government do that to us? Peter Sullivan, who used to work for the UN, he said this: we must use migration to turn the English people into a minority in England. This will allow us to undermine the identity of the native English and import a new majority that will end the very idea of England. This is critical for globalism to take a hold of England. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what's happening here. Very clearly. And if you think it's an accident, the UN has a paper called Replacement Migration. There it is. Canada, step 3 now. Immigration, control the media. Step 3, Canada has 33 taxes, the highest in the world. Hollow out the middle class. They're doing it on purpose, without a question. Here they are. Carbon tax, personal income tax, corporate income tax, GST, excise taxes on fuel, alcohol, tobacco, cannabis. air travel security tax, luxury tax, provincial territorial tax, capital gains tax, land transfer tax, media tax, regulation tax, CPD tax, and business tax. It's exhausting just saying it. Can you imagine paying? And we are.
I don't have to
We pay
imagine
all the
it.
time.
Well, don't have to imagine
Step
it.
4, inflation. Do you know that if we print double the money supply, it halves the value of money? Right, so understand that your money, if you had $100,000
If
in
I
the
can get a
bank,
minute in
and
between
then
the
they
speakers,
double the
I'll take
money
a walk.
supply, 5 years later, they double the money supplies, that money would only buy half of what it bought on day one. And they understand that. They totally understand it. And not only that, they borrow all that money, we're paying $1 billion a week in interest on it. And what would you do if you're in business? If you borrowed money, you would want to pay it back. But what do? They sabotage our oil field. By far, the biggest industry in the country. So how are you supposed to pay that debt back if they carbon cap you? Eliminate jobs, eliminate business opportunity, and they're doing it on purpose. They don't like us.
They don't like us very much.
Energy, West Coast, we say we're landlocked. We're not landlocked, we're policy locked. They bring tankers full of oil down the St. Lawrence every day. But yet we can't put a tanker on the West Coast. We could change that if we didn't in Alberta. We could change those rules. And carbon tax. Carbon taxes cost Canadians billions over 5 years, hurting the economy while reducing CO2 emissions by 11.9 gigatons. China emits 11.9 gigatons every day and a half. So we're shutting our entire oil industry down based on this lie. I want to ask you a question, even if it was legit. We sell them coal. We sell them coal. The coal comes right from here. Leaves the point of Vancouver and goes straight to China. And that CO2, unless I'm mistaken, doesn't just sit over China. That would blow all over the place. But what's happening is the government is using this to do all of the other stuff. The globalists would like to keep our industries in the ground where they can see them in a nice, safe place, because this is a nice, safe country. But they don't want you to benefit from them. They want to benefit from them. None of the biggest CO2 producing nations in the world pay carbon tax, just us. Carbon tax revenue, there you go, you see the big countries in there. You see the USSR, you see the USA, you see China, you see Pakistan, you see India on that. No. And Danielle just signed this MOU with them, and Carney's celebrating a 6-fold increase in carbon tax. I'll ask you a question, and that was supposed to be a win. How can increasing carbon tax by 6-fold help the people of Alberta? It's going to cost us $6 to $10 a barrel more to produce our oil. Make us non-competitive. And to top that off, they build pathways. You know what pathways is? That's all part of this MOU. Pathways is a carbon-sucking machine that would take CO2 and turn it into liquid and inject it into the ground. And then it's poisonous. It might increase oil flow. But if we haven't got a carbon problem, why should Alberta taxpayers spend $50 billion on pathways?
Who owns the company that makes the carbon capture plant?
So,
Brookfield.
putting this out of work, creating more money, making life harder for all of you. And they're doing it on purpose. Carbon taxes will be legal in Alberta, but the aforementioned Supreme Court held it up. Went right to the top, we won. They said, no, you can't do that. And here's where the rubber meets the road. Norway, which started after us, they produce 2.1 million barrels of oil a day. Alberta produces 4.6 million barrels of oil a day. They have a $1.95 trillion US oil fund. And we're $100 billion in debt. How's that work? Do you actually think that if we were negotiating our own deals building our own pipelines because we couldn't negotiate with BC, you know. Because BC said 70% or 80% of its trade from those ports right through Alberta. We can tariff them day one. And then they would have to play nice. Now just imagine the difference it would make in our lives if we had a $2 trillion US oil fund that comes to about $340,000 US per citizen. Now all of our trade goes south. People say you're landlocked. Well, we're already landlocked. And 88% of our trade goes south. And not only do they attack our oil patch, they attack our farms. In the next emergency, they said that they will be able to come to your farm and seize your land and your herd. And that's a law, 293. And what just happened to the ostriches? Those were dead ostriches in that picture over there. You seize that herd.
Stay away from our livestock.
Yeah. COVID was a mess. COVID is what got me involved in politics. Never was involved in politics before. So we, actually, our government put out a paper, Alberta's COVID-19 pandemic response. And I'm just asking you, to this day, the leading cause of death in Alberta the last several years was unknown causes. I'm going to share with you that there is no such thing as unknown causes. And we got this study done, but it never went anywhere. Why is that? The government minister admits that COVID restrictions are all about political power and control. Well, that's what it was all about. Digital ID. They're talking about digital ID. If they have digital ID and digital currency,
you're in a cage.
That's going to trap us. Bill C8, you'll be kicked off the internet and you will have no recourse. Our base said, C8, C9 come through, we will no longer be free people. Now here's the other thing, if you think this is nonsense. Red flag with a gun grab, because your neighbors will be able to squeal on you, and they will go to your house and take your guns. They don't have to tell you who told on you. You will not have due process, and you'll have to go prove to them that you are not guilty. This is real, this is Canada. Listen to this, Bill C9. So I'm asking a question, why is our government passing these kind of laws? C9 is a very dangerous bill. It uses the concept of naming a group. A political entity, the Order in Council, names a group a hate group, pursuant to 83.01. From there, the members of the group are all guilty by virtue of possession of the symbol. Mark Miller, the liberal, in debate, names the Bible and Torah as hate and states there's no legitimate religious defense. It means the group is Christians or Jews, and because he said other religious texts, the Quran. This enables the government to target the religious individuals as part of the group. This is exceptionally evil, broad, and typical only of communist countries. So I want to read you this part, which I find is really interesting and why I have the other slide. There is an unlimited forfeiture clause. Is it your house, your bank account? Is it your life? You are the person by which the means of the offense was committed. This clause, never written, is this is what happens next. It says, it may, in addition to other punishment imposed, be ordered by the presiding provincial court judge or judge to be forfeited to his majesty in right of the province in which that person is convicted or disposal. As the Attorney General may direct. What's that all about? This is Canada. And here we go. They're coming for our guns. The amnesty will be over in October. I explained to the Premier. I said to the Premier, at the end of it, so they're going to stop paying you for them in March.
Doesn't matter.
And then they're going to come for them in October. But if you don't give them up, you're going to become a criminal on that day. Our Premier says, oh no, we're not going to let them come to your house. We're going to tell the RCMP they can't enforce that. But what if you leave Alberta? So if you leave Alberta, they'll make you a criminal on day one. Okay, not even if you leave Alberta, they will know that you have these guns, the restricted guns, are going to make you a criminal. Then the next thing they can do is you can't have a pal and be a criminal. So they're going to take your pal away. At that point, then they're absolutely able to go to your house and get all of your guns, even your non-restricted guns.
Come get them.
And there's a 3-year jail penalty for that. And we've asked the Premier repeatedly, why do we not have Alberta gun laws? But they don't seem to want to do it. This is a 3-year battle. We've been fighting this battle for 3 years with them. We need an Alberta gun license. They don't want to do it.
Yes.
So, just in case you didn't know, guns don't kill people. People kill people. Honduras, with a population of 8.2 million people, bans guns. Highest homicide rate in the world. Switzerland trains its 17, 18-year-olds to become soldiers and then sends them home with their automatic weapon. There's a fully automatic weapon in every house in Switzerland with a trained soldier that knows how to use it. And I think and we have the lowest homicide rate in the world.
If you think there's somebody in that house with a fucking automatic gun, you're not breaking in.
She said that if you don't want to get shot, don't break into anybody's house. But she's not standing up for us to get our guns taken back, and I wish she would. But I'm going to give her some slack right now, so just so you know. We're here because we changed Bill 14. And I have not lost the sight of that. However, this gun stuff is very concerning to me because she's going to make a criminal out of $350,000 in one crack if we don't change that. So, as good as this is, allow us to pursue this path that we're on, that has to be addressed. And the well-regulated militia, being necessary for the security of the free states, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Shall not be infringed. Did I stutter?
All right, so let's check out what's going on with our economy. We grew 1.4% in 10 years. There's absolutely no way that they can do that unless they try. They have to try to do that. There's no way that you can do that in this country with everything we have. We'll only grow our economy 1.4% in 10 years. And Mr. Trudeau, having done all that, gives the keys to Mr. Carney, the business genius. And $85 billion worth of investment left there because you know what? People are seeing it. They don't want to spend any money here because they don't see a business case for it. In his book, Mr. Carney says this: Western society is morally rotten, and that has been corrupted by capitalism, which is brought about by climate emergency. This, he claims, requires rigid controls on personal freedoms.
Yeah, it's been about that the whole time.
More rigid controls on personal freedoms. C8, C9, he's showing us that.
The super chat's got to be over.
Assets will be stranded. What he ultimately wants is a technocratic dictatorship. So if we unpack that, a technocratic dictatorship is unelected big business running our country. We talked about carbon tax already. So what happened? Since the business genius got into business, our economy shrank another 0.3% in October. And what does he do? Pumps $33 billion into bureaucracy. Again, another drain on us. These people do not produce anything. They're totally conscious of what they're doing. They're consciously crippling our economy and consciously hurting us. And he's got 103 ethics violations. Each one of those is a crime. Every one of those he should be impeached for. Every one. And I watched him flat out lie to a CBC reporter. CBC reporter asked him if he had any business conflicts. He said, no. Basically, read my lips. No, I don't have any. And since he's been in Prime Minister, there's been 42 contracts. All have been with Brookfield. Imagine. And Canada pledges $4.3 billion to the Ukraine at the G7. 2 days later, Brookfield gets a contract for $4.3 billion to rebuild the Ukraine.
Funny how that math works.
You can't even make that up.
Your math don't math.
12,500 dead from AIDS. We lead the world in assisted suicide. And what do? They take and sell the organs. These are the people that we're dealing with. $93 billion on UBI, I'll let Jeff get into that. So here's the problem. We don't have a CO2 problem, we've got a corruption problem. And there's no fixing this corruption problem. So here's the path. I saw Jim at the Prairie Rising conference, and he came, and he made a profound impact on me. His currency, his blood-being currency, is something that really hit home with me. Because here we are. We have a path here. And our currency that we have to spend right now is our time. We don't have to get shot. We don't have to get shot at. We have to spend our time and work really hard at this. Sign up to be a canvasser and talk to your neighbors. That's the way this gets done. I want you to be absolutely crystal clear here. Everybody says to me, Vince, what about the soft middle in Calgary and decent people? Well, I'm going to share something with you. There's only two sides to this. Either you're a globalist or you're with us. It's that simple.
Yeah!
Everybody wants to play elbows up and use the hockey thing. And I played a little bit of hockey, I understand how that works. How it works is you have a bully running around the ice, intimidating your players. And your players, because they're being intimidated, lose all their fine motor skills. So what's going to happen is they're going to come to you with all these fear-mongering things, and they're going to try to scare you and freeze you in one spot. It's going to take courage to get through this. So if you're in a hockey rink, and I can guarantee you I know about this, you decide if you're going to put up with that or you're going to stand up for your team and your teammates. You go stand up beside that guy, and what do you say?
Let's drop him.
Let's go.
Let's drop him.
And then you fight. Thank you very much.
I want you guys to see this. It's packed to the fucking limit in here.
Sylvester, ladies and gentlemen. What a guy. Now, if that was an advertisement, let's get ready for the main course. Our next guest very rarely needs an introduction. Jeff Rath, constitutional lawyer, legal counsel for Stay Free Alberta. Board of Directors of the AP Society. Jeff is a constitutional lawyer with 34 years experience. He's a leader and strong supporter of Alberta independence, being the only option for Alberta. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome super lawyer Jeff Rath.
Calgary, Alberta! I'm so glad to be in Alberta tonight! Oh my God, look at all of you! Monday night in Calgary! This is fantastic! Thank you all for coming out. Before we get started tonight, I want to assure everybody, Sue is a real sign language interpreter, not a fake sign language interpreter like they had at Nelson Mandel's funeral. She's the real deal. We spent real money for this. It's awesome. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate you. Now, while we're on that subject, I want to thank all of the canvassers that were here today. Over 150 of your fellow Albertans got your canvassing badges, went through the canvassing training, and made sure that nobody had to stand out in the cold for more than 5 or 10 minutes. Right? We got through the lineup this morning, the 600 people that were lined up before we opened at 11. We got through that line in about 30 minutes because we could just run people through 150 people at a time. It was awesome this morning. So for Jason Kenney, who said we're just a bunch of malcontents sitting in a bar in Didsbury that couldn't organize a 2-car funeral procession, wake up. This is what Alberta looks like. Woo!
I'm going to do a video on Jason Kenney. That guy is such a hater.
We don't need to hear it from you again, right? Now, the next thing I want to talk about tonight is how important, Mitch has already touched on it, how important it is for all of you to go to stayfreealberta.com, and if you can, if you got the time, and it doesn't take a lot of time, please register as a canvasser and get your canvassing badges. Because each and every one of you probably has 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 people in your circle that other people can't get to. They might not actually want to go out and find a signing location or go to an event. You've all got those people in your circle. You know, whether it's your mom or your dad or your grandparents in a lodge, you know, whether it's, you know, you're going to a family reunion, whatever it is, you know, we want to get to 1.8 million
It's a
signatures.
little delayed from what I'm hearing.
Right? That would be more than the people who voted in the last election in Alberta. If we could get to that number, we wouldn't even have to have a referendum. Right? So it's going to take all of us working together to get there, right? I was kind of laughing this morning. Our little friend, little Tommy the Commie Lukasik, right? Little Tommy, right? He was actually on Twitter today saying, "Oh, an Alberta independence referendum, it's inevitable now. It's inevitable."
I could smell his tears.
That little weasel's already throwing in the towel. Right?
Man, this guy's hilarious.
You know, all of this is moving forward exactly the way it should and exactly the way we always imagined it would, right? Albertans, notwithstanding anything they say from, you know, Quebec, oh, Alberta has no culture, right? We do have a culture. You know, we wake up in the morning, we work hard, we make money to take care of our kids, raise our families, take care of our parents, right, and live good, industrious lives. That is the culture of Alberta. Yeah. And of course, you know, as Mitch was saying, and he just glossed over it because he knows I like to whine about this a little bit, but we all know that the Liberal Party and Mark Carney are an existential threat to the province of Alberta.
Yeah, they are. And the rest of us too.
We talk about our Alberta culture. We talk about, you know, the fact that we have a culture that involves hard work, industriousness, working together as a people, right? And they want to destroy that culture. And their plan for destroying that culture, you know, is twofold. Mitch touched on, you know, the unchecked issuance of international mobility permits, temporary foreign worker visas, you know, student visas for people that never leave and they don't know where they are, right? Well, we have an over 9.5% unemployment rate in Alberta right now. Our youth unemployment is over 12.5%. Our Indigenous unemployment is over 24%. Does anybody here think we need any temporary foreign workers to take those jobs? No. Right? Does anybody here, you know, people that live in Calgary, we're waiting with bated breath, you know, for the next announcement of the summer water restrictions because Nenshi wouldn't maintain our water system, right? So we live in a city, right? Calgarians live in a city. Thankfully, I live in the country and I have a well. So, but anyway, but you know,
Man, this guy is cooking.
Calgarians live in a city, right, where we don't have enough water, we don't have enough room in our classes for our kids, we don't have enough room in our emergency rooms, and people are literally dying in our ERs because they can't get proper service, and it's because our schools, you know, and our ERs, our water system, our power system, everything, all of our infrastructure is being completely overrun by all these temporary foreign workers, international mobility program workers, and the rest that Carney is intentionally flooding Alberta with, right? How many people voted for that, right? So one of the things that, you know, we need to keep in mind is there is a solid future, and I don't want to spend the entire evening bitching about Mark Carney because it's an easy thing to do. But I do want to finish off on the thought of, what the Liberals are doing or planning to do to destroy our culture. Mitch touched on universal basic income. How many people here know what that means? Right? A few, okay? So universal basic income is a plan by the Liberals, right, to destroy our children, okay? So first thing they want to do is, along with the universal basic income bill, they want to bring in a bill to lower the voting age in Canada to 16, okay? The reason they want to lower the voting age to 16 is so that our 17-year-old kids can vote on a bill called universal basic income, right, that will allow them to drop out of school at the age of 17 and be given $2,000 a month to stay home and not work, not go to school, not have a plan to go to school, have a plan to go to work, just stay home, smoke government legalized marijuana and play video games, and they'll be paid $2,000 a month. Right? How many people here raise their kids to live like that? Right? No one. Right? That is a direct attack on our culture. It's a direct attack on our children, and we will not stand for it. And of course, the easiest way to stop all of this is for all of us to keep doing what we're doing, coming out to events like this, getting our canvassing badges, getting our fellow Albertans to sign what people are calling the Alberta Declaration of Independence petition, right? And doing all of that to vote ourselves the hell out of Canada. The reason we're doing that, I see lots of parents here with their kids tonight, and I just love it, right? I want to shout out to the two beautiful kids in the front row today with their family, and all the other parents that have brought their children out today to witness their parents signing the Alberta Independence petition. There were lots of kids and lots of families here today. That's what this movement is all about, right? We want a future for our children. We want our kids to be able to move out of mom and dad's basement and afford a home, right? We want our kids to be able to afford rent, right? When rents, because of the fact that we've been flooded with all of these federal government subsidized foreign workers, international mobility program workers, and the rest of it, incidentally, all of whom are given more money than our senior citizens and our veterans, right? Taking apartments, driving up rents, making life in general miserable, because that's how Mark Carney and the globalists want us to live, right? They don't live that way. They fly around in their private jets, they meet in Davos, they all talk about how, we're basically a bunch of sheep that need to be herded and taken care of, according to them, right? Don't eat meat, oh no, cows fart too much, right? Can't have beef anymore. While we're on that subject, think about the fact that the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, the same group that murdered all the ostriches in British Columbia, right, now want Alberta farmers and ranchers to have birth certificates for every calf born in Alberta. Right?
If I ain't registering my gun, I just fucking registering my cow either.
They know exactly how many animals that you have, so you can't hide them from them. So if they want to seize your herd and murder your herd, like they did to the ostriches, they got it all accounted for. Like, what do we say to that? I say, hell no.
No!
And again, this is why we say that Carney, that Mark Carney and his government are an existential threat to the province of Alberta. Every time we turn around, they find some new way to make our lives miserable, right? Whether it's the West Coast tanker ban, whether it's, the emission caps, the production cap, the guns, the firearms seizures, needless firearms seizures. There's no more law-abiding people in this country than licensed RPAL holders, right? The very fact that we've all been forced into becoming custodians of our own property for Justin Trudeau for the last 3 years, without a single crime anywhere in Canada being committed by an RPAL holder in any of their seized firearms, indicates to you how safe and law-abiding every RCAL holder in this province is, right? And again, you know, we have Daniel
Somebody
Smith
pulled the fucking fire
refusing
alarm.
to issue us.
Well,
Oh, hang on. The CSIS in the house, and they're trying to make us clear out of the room, or what? Somebody pulled the fire alarm. I think we're safe to do that. But anyway.
that sounds like a communist at work right there.
On an ongoing basis,
Oh,
right?
no.
We need Danielle Smith to pay attention. We need her
Someone
to issue
pulled the fire alarm.
licenses in Alberta. And above all,
What's going to happen here?
stop talking like a globalist. Every time you
Son of a
you know,
bitch. So who's shocked by this? Somebody pulled the fire alarm.
Oh my gosh, man. Are you kidding me?
I'll give you one guess as to who it was.
under Carney and communist China's thumb, right?
What's going to happen here? Are they going to keep going?
Let's keep in mind that that's what it's all about. Every time she says net zero, you know, that's globalist speak for, you know, you can be taxed to death for producing resources, for working, for driving
Okay, good.
to work.
That was good response time.
You know, producing food on your farm. We're trying to go to work to take care of your children.
Could have been
That's
anywhere in
what
the
that's all
building, not
about.
even in
If
this
you ever hear any politician pay lip service to the words net zero, here's a big spoiler alert. They're a globalist, and you need to tell them they need to turn their brain around, or we're not going to vote for them. It's that simple.
There is no net zero.
Right? And what have we seen in the last couple of weeks? And I actually, it's kind of funny. CTV was here earlier. I don't know if they're still here right now, but I did it. I wasted half an hour of my life, I think yesterday or today, talking to them about what we're doing and why and how. They took a 10-second clip of what I was saying. But the most important thing I said to them was at the very outset, and you can see the reporter was kind of discombobulated. She goes, well, Mr. Rath, what do you think that, you know, is going on in the independence movement? And I said, well, before we even get into this, I said, this is a national news program. So I want to send a big shout out to Mark Carney, because he is the best salesman that Alberta independence has ever had. Yeah. Woo! Every time he opens his little mealy mouth, he drives another 100,000 or more Albertans to our banner, right? Let's just look at the last week. And Mitch has already showed you the clip of, you know, Mark Carney. I was actually joking with friends that, you know, he looked like he was on scopolamine when he said, New World Order, right? But, you know, the next day, I don't think he was on drugs, maybe, whatever. But the next day, you know, a reporter
Activated supervillain voice.
When he said New World Order.
Experiencing was minor, has been corrected.
All right. So for whoever the forever.
Okay, you hear what's happening there? It's like a voice saying that the fire alarm situation's all good.
So for whoever the
Thank you, robot voice.
The problem we were experiencing was minor and has been corrected.
All right. All right.
We're trying. Shut up.
This reminds me of my mother-in-law. I can't get a word in edgewise.
The problem we were experiencing was minor.
The recording is worse than the alarm.
Carry on with what you were doing.
Just reading the script.
All right, there we go. So I just want to say, for whoever the little forever Canadian or NDP was that pulled the fire alarm, you know, we know who you are. We see you. Yeah. So anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But anyway, speaking of which, I was laughing with somebody today, and this will get me back on track. But I heard Nenshi had a hysterical hissy fit news conference today, all about everything we're doing and what bad people we are.
Yeah, there's a lot of content for me to make videos on this today. Like, I'll probably make 5 YouTube videos. There's a ton of stuff that happened today.
How many people here think we're bad people? Right? How many people here would ever vote for Naheed Nenshi? Right? Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So I said to a friend of mine today, he said, oh, did you see Nenshi's speech today? And I said, why would I waste my time doing that? Like, why would I want to hear anything that moron has to say, first of all? And then second of all, just to be clear, right, if he Nenshi says Alberta independence is a bad idea, that is the best endorsement we have. It is a fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to get the interlude and fire alarm interlude's over. I think my brain's now back on track to where I was. So what I was talking about was Mark Carney and his whole New World Order speech in China. I'm surprised he didn't give his little Illuminati symbol hands thing when he was in China as well, right? Got to do that. Gotta let the Illuminati know you're on side, right? But anyway, the next day, his reporter asks him, because he had a great 3 days. So the next day, he comes out, and the reporter asks him, what did you mean when you meant New World Order? And then he goes through a whole bunch of typical word salad that comes out of the mouth of a liberal. And then he says, well, what I really meant by that is bilateral relations, like between like-minded countries. So I went, wow. So Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, says that Canada and the Canadian government is like-minded to the communist dictatorship of communist China. Everything that we have already thought, right? And then the next day, so of course, my friend Keith Wilson has a great line about Carney, and he says, yeah, he doesn't even live in Canada, he just visits from time to time for a day or two, and then he jets off somewhere else, right? So anyway, when Carney was visiting Canada the day after, clarifying that by New World Order, he meant that we were like-minded to the communist dictatorship in communist China. So the next day he comes home and then decides it's a good idea to invoke Article 5 of the NATO treaty with regard to our friends in the United States of America, right? Well, for those of you that aren't familiar with what Article 5 of the NATO treaty is, that's the provision of the treaty that requires members of NATO to militarily come to the defense of any NATO country that's attacked. So Carney's not even home for 24 hours after visiting his communist masters in Beijing, right? And he's threatening war with the United States of America under Article 5 of the NATO treaty. I'm 61 years old, right? I studied foreign policy, Canadian history, when I was doing my honors degree in political science at the University of Alberta. I'm very familiar with the history of Canada, and I have lived experience of 61 years on this planet. At no point in my life, or in anywhere in a Canadian history book that I'm familiar with, has a Canadian Prime Minister ever threatened war with the United States of America, right? Think about how asinine that is.
Exactly. I've been saying this on this channel. That was like a 10 out of 10 blunder by Carney, and it's very good, I would say, for Independence, Alberta.
Right? Mark Carney is literally like a mouse nibbling on an elephant's toenail, and he thinks
facial
that he just has to say elbows up, and Donald Trump is going to roll over, and Mark Carney's going to get everything that he wants. It's completely asinine. But I guess it plays with the voters in Ontario.
I just gotta say, guys, the facial expressions of the sign language interpreter are absolutely amazing.
Getting elected in Quebec, the liberal days in Quebec may be coming to an end, right? But Mark Carney is literally that big of a buffoon, right? Then he goes to the World Economic Forum. He's had a great 4 days or 5 days, right? Goes to the World Economic Forum, and again, goes out of his way to be gratuitously insulting and rude and all the rest of it to Canada's largest trading partner, right? We literally have hundreds of billions of dollars in trade at risk with the United States of America. As Mitch indicated,
and the biggest economy and biggest military in the world.
Is north, south, not east, west, right? But there's Mark Carney gratuitously insulting the president of the United States without mentioning him by name. And of course, President Trump's reaction the next day was great. He came out to the stage in Davos, literally pantsed Mark Carney, gave him a bare-bottom spanking in front of the entire world, completely humiliated Mark Carney, right? The only thing that Trump didn't do to Carney was drag him off to the washroom and give him a swirly, right? And this is the Prime Minister of Canada, right? Then, I'm doing interviews, the other day, and I'm talking about this with a reporter. He said, well, but didn't you hear? Mark Carney came out the other day and says he cares about national unity. I said, wow. Does he care about national unity? That's great. Because it's like, he hasn't repealed the West Coast tanker ban. He hasn't repealed the carbon emissions cap. He hasn't repealed the production cap. You know, he hasn't stopped talking about how the federal government is going to enforce net zero on the Alberta power grid. He hasn't stopped talking about criminalizing, you know, hundreds of thousands of Albertans if they don't turn in their property, which is subject to Section 9213 of the BNA Act, which is exclusive jurisdiction over property and civil rights in the province, but he still thinks he can just come in and seize our property under the criminal law power, right? So he's doing that, right? And then on top of it, and Mitch alluded to it, the ink wasn't even dry, right, on that so-called pipe dream MOU that Danielle signed, right? And Mark Carney was bragging about a 600% increase in the industrial carbon tax in Alberta, right? Yet he and Danielle are going, oh, this is going to bring business to Alberta. Well, wait a minute, right? So 600% increase of the $90 industrial carbon tax. So $540 a ton is what they want to tax carbon with in Alberta, right? It's $30 in Quebec, by the way, right? And somehow or other, this is a good deal, and we should all be jumping up and down for joy that Mark Carney got such a great deal by getting Danielle to concede a 600% carbon tax increase. So when this reporter says, well, Jeff, Mark Carney says that he wants Canada to be united and he cares about unity, my response is, then tell him to stop lacing up his hobnailed boots and trying to kick us all to death with his stupid policies. But again, we know that he won't do that, which, and again, God bless him, because he is the best salesman for Alberta independence that we could ever have. The other thing that I'd like everybody to consider, and again, I promise not to just be negative all night tonight, is how much better off we are going to be in a free and independent Alberta, right? I want everybody to contemplate for a minute the $70 billion a year that Albertans send to Ottawa in the form of federal taxes, CPP, and UI. That's right, $70 billion a year. Leave this province not to come back. $15 billion to Quebec, that big half-non-province of Ontario, 500 million, $500 million to Ontario, the Maritimes, and then all the other waste, right? So Trudeau's electric choo-choo train from Toronto to Montreal. Party wants to spend $200 billion to rearm Europe, right? What about the $69 billion that the Liberals have sent to Ukraine, right? I read the other day that Ukraine has $22 billion in gold reserve, right? Wow, isn't that nice? We're generous people. Albertans have sent billions of dollars to Ukraine so that they can maintain $22 billion in gold reserves that they haven't had to tap into, because all of us generous Albertans are taking money out of our back pockets and letting Mark Carney send it wherever he wants in the world. And again, think about what Nick said earlier. We all know that Ukraine and the Ukrainian government is one of the most notoriously corrupt governments in the world.
Even Bill Gates said that about the Ukrainian government, who's like not a right-wing person.
We have yachts, castles, ski resorts. I mean, Christian Freeland had to quit her job in Parliament as a Liberal to go over and help Zelensky hide all of his money, right? So how many of us here actually think that when billions of dollars are being sent to the Ukraine, right, that it's not being laundered back into the offshore bank accounts of members of the Liberal Party, friends of the Liberal Party, members of the Liberal cabinet, et cetera, et cetera? I sure don't, right? It's all of these programs, Trudeau's gender programs in the third world, all of the money that gets shipped overseas, it goes into a black box with no accountability, and none of us know where this money is going, other than we know it's not staying in Alberta to take care of Albertans.
Or even Canada, anywhere.
And I say that it's time for all of that to stop. Right?
Yes.
And we have a really easy and clear way forward here. All we have to do is keep doing what we did today. we have to volunteer our time. And it was fun. I mean, I spent an hour down there this afternoon in between getting some other things done today. And I mean, the energy and the excitement and the chatter and everybody making new friends and all of the volunteers and all the canvassers working together. I mean, it's such a great vibe. It's like tonight. It's this whole event tonight. People making new friends, Albertans working together. All we need to do is keep doing that until the 6th of May.
See you, Mountain Woman. Have a great night.
Right? And we get our 1.8 million signatures, and we get Alberta the hell out of Canada. Lindsay's addressed this earlier, and I do want to speak to a little bit something that comes up with the reporters all the time. We are not pursuing statehood with the United States of America.
Woo! Out in the open.
Meeting with them on a regular basis because I think it's important for us to be able to come back and tell our fellow Albertans what the attitude is of our most important trading partner when it comes to Alberta independence. I mean, let's face it, this entire project would be dead if the United States government told us, look, you guys are whistling in the dark. And, the fact of the matter is, we're not going to support Alberta independence. If you guys try to leave Canada, we won't support it. We'll shut down the border. We won't buy your oil anymore. We're not going to buy your beef. You guys can just behave yourselves, because we're globalists like Carney and, we think you should just shut up and behave. No, but that's not what they're saying. They have told us directly that they are enthusiastic about the prospect of Alberta independence, right?
It is good. This is a good thing. It's crazy the Liberals have this attitude that we shouldn't work with USA, be hostile toward USA. It's insanity. Have a good night, Punisher. Thank you for chatting.
About the prospect of Alberta independence, it's because they know. I mean, you see the picture that Mitch put up of the 11 faceless MPs that are communist Chinese agents. We're not allowed to know who they are. I mean, it's obvious from New World Order. Mark Carney's a Chinese agent. There's no doubt about it, right? He's the prime minister, and he's governing this country for Brookfield and for China, right? He's not governing it, demonstrably not governing it for Canada or Alberta, right? So, within the U.S. national interest of their new strategic, the new document that they released on U.S. strategic policy, right? They recognize that the Alberta oil field, right, needs to be liberated from control by communist China, right? And that means liberating the Alberta oil field from control by the Carney Liberals, because the Carney Liberals are controlled by communist China, right? It's pretty straightforward. The other thing that's really remarkable, and I don't know if any of you saw it, but just 2 or 3 days ago, Scott Bessent, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, who arguably is the second most powerful man in the world, right, announced that he would welcome an Alberta pipeline down through the United States to the Pacific Northwest to service the markets of Korea, Japan, etc., in a heartbeat. Now that we've opened the door for Danielle, hopefully she's sending a delegation down to Washington immediately to follow up the work we've been doing to get that done. It's humiliating to Albertans to have to go on bended knee to a socialist government in British Columbia and beg them permission for a pipeline, right? And I mean, just a little thought for everybody to think about, because that is one of the big, the big things that the forever communists say, and all the CBC people say. Well, if Alberta became independent, you'd be landlocked. It's like, we're landlocked now, right? Completely landlocked, right? But if Alberta were an independent country, even dealing with British Columbia would be so much easier. It's like, okay, BC, you don't want a pipeline through British Columbia? Carney says you have a veto? Okay, let's talk about that, right? New independent government of Alberta, country of Alberta. We're really concerned about keeping British Columbia rats out of the province of Alberta, right? And because we're a rat-free province, right, we are going to stop every train and every truck coming out of Vancouver, coming out of British Columbia at the Alberta border. Yes! BC rats. Any rat carrying an NDP card will be sent right back to Vancouver. But, and I'm saying that facetiously, obviously. It's not a realistic scenario because you would say we could do that, or you could give us a pipeline. I mean, how hard would that be, right? And that's the reality of it. As an independent country, Alberta would be able to negotiate from a position of strength with British Columbia to get a pipeline through BC. And the Americans have already said that they would be enthusiastically in support of an Alberta pipeline going to the Pacific Northwest, right? And these are honorable people. I take them at their word. The other thing is we can also have a pipeline straight down to the Gulf of America, right? But more importantly, as an independent country, we would get rid of all of the federal regulations choking our oil industry, right? We would get rid of all of the NDP regulations brought in by the Nazi government choking our industry, right? We would be able to double oil production in this province within 5 years, right? By having people that work in the oil industry who understand how the industry works, help get rid of all of the regulations that are making oil and gas projects in this province, year-long affairs to get done, right? We don't need any of that in Alberta, right? And we just need to come up with smarter ways to work to make Alberta the richest, most prosperous, least taxed, and least regulated jurisdiction in North America. And that is how you're going to take care of our kids, right? All of that's going to be possible. Alberta will control its own immigration. There's a document that I was involved in drafting with a bunch of economists and people smarter than me, bankers, et cetera, where we talked about what the fiscal plan for a future of Alberta would look like, right? In that document, we talk about the things that Alberta would pay for, like, our immigration department. And we make it clear that it's our immigration and deportation department, right? After funding everything that the federal government funds currently for us, including tripling the amount of money spent on Indigenous communities to lift them out of the abject poverty that Carney and Trudeau have left them in, we still have communities in this province that don't have safe drinking water. That's an embarrassment to be as an Alberta. It's despicable, right? All of that can be fixed, and then after that, we would still have a $37 to $57 billion a year fiscal capacity surplus. Think about that. And that's where all the tax savings and tax cuts would come from, because the government of an independent Alberta would believe that money needs to be left in our pockets and not held by bureaucrats in Edmonton to spend as they please on ridiculous World Economic Forum projects. We could literally, constitutionally limit government spending, go to real currency, no more fiat currency, where a bank governor like Carney can double the money supply and literally steal 50% of the money in your bank account, steal 50% of the equity of your home just by doubling the money supply and inflating, your money into meaninglessness. Think about it. When you go to the grocery store, right, and you see that grocery prices in the last 5-10 years have more than doubled, right? It's not that groceries are more expensive. Your money's worth half as much, right? Thank you, Mr. Carney. That will not happen in a free and independent Alberta. And again, there are so many benefits to Alberta getting out of Canada. And I put this challenge out to Daniel Smith more than once. And my challenge for any of them, the forever communists, little commie, the commie, all of them, I want, instead of talking about all your fear and BS about, think about this and think about that, you don't love Canada, you're a traitor, you're this and you're that. No, stop with all of that nonsense. Give us one good reason that Albertans will be better off if they stayed in Canada. Just one. They can't do it. They can't do it, because the reality is we have thousands of good reasons for leaving, right? They don't have one good reason for any of us to stay anymore. Not one. So that's what I'd like all of you to reflect on. And when you're talking to your friends and neighbors, when all of you, I want all of you to get your canvassing badges and you're out getting signatures. If somebody asks you that question, just ask them that question, right? If you think of one reason that Alberta would be better off if we stayed in Canada, you're still going to be Canadian citizens. You're still going to have your Canadian passport if you want to keep it. On top of it, right? all this nonsense about you're going to lose your pension. You're not going to lose your pension. Pensions are contractual obligation. You know, OAS, we're going to have so much money in a free and independent Alberta. We are going to be able to take care of our seniors, take care of our veterans, take care of our pensioners, right? Double the amount that they're getting paid, right? And still not have to pay any federal or any income tax. So think about that. So I've actually gone on a lot longer than I usually do. This is a hell of a captive audience. Thank you very much. So anyway, I just want to thank all of you tonight for coming out. I want to tell all of you how proud I am to be an Albertan tonight, how proud I am of each and every one of you. And I want to say thank you, Calgary, for showing Alberta that we can turn out freedom.
Jeff Rath, ladies and gentlemen. Before we continue, folks, I got to make sure to give one last thank you tonight to everyone who dug deep into their pockets and donated to StayFreeAlberta.com or Stay Free Alberta. Don't forget, over in the corner again, for anybody who came late, there is a table accepting donations up to $50. Anything higher, please ask. They'll arrange what can work for you. Don't forget, there's merch at the back as well as lawn signs if you want to make sure to lawn signs if you want to let people know that you're voting for independence. Signatures, I've been told signatures are going until 10 o'clock, folks, so if you haven't yet got signatures in for the petition, make sure to head downstairs and down until 10 o'clock to get that done. Join me, there will be no Q&A tonight, but join me on Unacceptable Fringe on YouTube. Jeff Rath and Mitch Sylvester will be joining me on a series of live streamed events where you can come and ask your questions. You will be heard. We'll make sure no one enters this without their questions answered. So if you want your questions answered, and again, you can see the page here, head over to Unacceptable Fringe on YouTube. They will, if I'd have known that was the end, I would have waited a minute. They will take a look at that. Has anybody lost a black Ridge wallet? The brown front. This was found on the floor. If anybody has lost this, head over to the doors over here where the green room is. We'll make sure it's left in there for you to pick up after the event. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every one of you who came out tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support. And playing us out tonight, a new Alberta Independence anthem called Alberta Unleashed from Dave McKenzie. Thank you, everybody. Drive safe. Have a great night. He doesn't want to walk around.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, we got a couple super chats we just want to get through.
Oh, yeah. The new anthem. Is this the same one they played at the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the same one they played at the beginning.
Yeah. All right, guys. Carlson, thanks again for the Unacceptable Fringe memberships.
Oh, hi. I didn't know you, but people in the comments.
Alberta Boy 400. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to make a bunch of YouTube videos on this topic, but yeah, so if you're up late at night, you'll probably see those dropping in the next few hours. But thank you everyone for chatting. Thanks for being here. Have a great evening. See you all later.